Hi, welcome to an episode of Manifest Actual Play. I'm Tommy Cotton. With me, as always, Seth Lilly, Roman Milan, Dan Barron, Addy Gia. We're here to play some Manifest for y'all. But before we jump into the recap and the actual play and all that goodness, these lovely people have things to talk to you about. So I'm going to throw the attention to the lovely people, and the lovely people will say things. Go!
So I'm here to talk to you about our charity this month, which is True Colors United. Every year there are over 4 million kids who experience homelessness in America, and LGBTQ kids are more than twice as likely to deal with homelessness than their non-LGBTQ peers. True Colors United believes in making sure that services for youths going through homelessness are safe and affirming for the people who are most impacted by it, which will make it safe and affirming for everyone. Youth homelessness is a community issue, and real progress can happen when people come together with a shared vision. It's a really important organization dealing with a very important issue. If you've got time, money, platform, anything you can send their way, we would really appreciate it. The end. Next.
Hi, I'm next. The beginning. Hi, I'm Roman. Welcome to the stream. It's Wednesday. I saved myself. It's Wednesday. It's around about 8 o'clock. That means we're here and you're here. Thank you so much for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. If you can't remember, if you think it's Tuesday for a second and then you're like, oh no, I think it's Wednesday. There's a cure for that, and it's not a pill of any kind. It's not some self-help book that you may have seen on TikTok. No, it's these two buttons underneath Addy, this heart and this bell, where you can follow and you can get notifications when we go live, and Twitch will just tell you when we're live. So if you're like sort of like running late for something, you're like putting on your pants, you get the notification, like and you sort of fall over, and it's very funny. But now you can just pick up your phone, you can click on that notification, and you can watch us as you're going to whatever appointment you're late for, maybe a date, and you get there and like they're super pissed at you, but then like it maybe works out. I don't know. I lost my own metaphor. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for your support. There's also a big purple button that Chris just pushed, where there are you can subscribe to the channel and give us support. You can get other people to subscribe for the channel by gifting subs, like Chris just did, and then y'all get to watch less ads, and you get to just get on in here with us, get those notifications, and be in here. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you to everyone who supports us in that way, or through bits or whatever, or even just by being here watching. Y'all's support means the absolute world. That money goes back into making the show better, into getting guest stars, into bettering our equipment and stuff. And we really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for being with us every week. If you've got an Amazon Prime subscription, don't let Jeff Bezos win. You get a free Twitch sub, and we would really appreciate it if you would give that to us. And we still get that support. Laura also pushed the purple button.
What the fuck?
This is wild. The purple button is going crazy right now. There's a hype train closing in on the purple button, and that button's going to be hit and destroyed forever if you don't press it in the next 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Is how hype trains work. There's that purple button is tied to the tracks.
So what you're saying is the hype train is a trolley problem for the subscribe button?
No. What I'm saying is Chris and Laura are evil Old West villains twirling their freaking mustaches. And they pop this poor purple button to the tracks. It's like wriggling its little feet. It's only its feet and its head, and like somehow its hands are out, but the rest is all rope. We need you to ride in and save it by pressing the button, or don't. We appreciate y'all just being here. Thank you so much for the support. Follow us on our socials. We love you so much. And now I will toss it over. Next. I'm done.
I feel like we're going to have the most unhinged page of all time.
I'm tired, and I'm running on a completed Sonic Vanilla Cold Brew, and B, a half-completed Sonic Red Bull Slush. Strawberry apricot flavor. So, baby, we're going off tonight. Let's go.
Sonic, where the sponsor at?
Yeah, for real.
All right.
Either Sonic, really.
Next up. Who's next?
Hey everybody, it's me, Addy Gia. Look, I didn't put on makeup. I I'm here to tell you that if you don't get enough of Manifest content over any given week or month, there's more out there. The best way to gain access to it is to head over to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/waypointgamedesigns. Where you get a monthly adventure, look behind the scenes, access to the Manifest Discord, as well as a special patrons only channel. In addition, you also get a cool access to a cool blog sort of thingy that we love to do, and the topic changes every month. My favorite of past months, of course, was the Beef Boy deep dive expose that we did for, like, the punchy peoples. We've gone deep into some other beautiful topics as well, and then of course those adventures are really kick-ass. So if you have the bandwidth and you want to get more Manifest content, the best way to do that, like I said before, go to www.patreon.com/waypointgamedesigns. The patron sort of like monthly donations are like very reasonable, small. I think the smallest one is like $2 a month or something like that. And then there's some cool things higher up in the stratosphere as well. So that's it. Now I believe we're going to talk to you about the economy, and some of it might be true, but most of it will probably be false.
Hey, Tommy, here's the thing. I can't imagine a world where you possess any credibility to speak to these people about anything.
All-time low, truly.
So, if you look up here in the top left corner of everyone's window, you can see how much grit we have. Grit is an expendable resource in Manifest the RPG that allows us to manipulate our roles and make the things we want to have happen. The players can use it to try and make it so they can land a really good hit or have a really good roll, and I can use it to ratchet up the tension and make their opposition stronger and more dangerous. So players can have a maximum of 12 grit. They are all currently at 6 because of the shenanigans of last episode. And I can have no such maximum. I can have as much grit as I want, though there is a limited amount of grit that I can presumably spend in a session. So I will say, like, if you were to dump like just a fuckload of grit there, I probably don't get to do anything with it. But when I spend grit, they get grit, and when they spend grit, I get grit. And you can spend grit too. You as viewers have viewer grit, which is what we call our channel points. You get it by subbing, by interacting, following, watching streams every week. And you can spend your viewer grit to give grit to any of the players or myself. It is a cool 1,400 viewer grit to give a grit point to one of these characters, or a cheap 700 grit or viewer grit to give grit to me, the GM.
You know the part in a movie where they're like a wealthy person is like, oh, I've just been giving money to this person. I don't know what they do. And then they go and they find out they've been funding like a factory that, builds rockets to shoot at like poor countries.
Dr. Eggman.
You saw that last week. And if you continue to choose to spend your grit, you are actively choosing to shoot a rocket at a poor country.
Well, we have 3 takers, which is
wild.
+1 grit to the GM from Chris, saying if you lack credibility, at least you can have the ability to have some credit. I get
Chris, you're a war profiteer.
And +1 grit to the GM from Kay, who posted the emote of the little chibi Tommy, as well as the Imagine emote. And then Tenetic, +1 grit to the GM, says, I forgive you, kinda. So that's 3 grit to the GM right there. For those of you that are confused as to why I may have earned some ire, you'll know when we get to the recap. But also +1 grit to Max from Argotlam, saying in honor of the truly magnificent moon that was shot last time. +1 grit to Cleve from Fiddler Undone. +1 grit to Franny from Laura with a bunch of Adigia heart emotes.
Thank you.
I will happily take this grit, and we don't need to talk about why you're giving it to me.
And none for Paige Kumilicans.
None for Gretchen.
Gretchen? Oh, no. Am I the Gretchen? Yeah, because
it's very obvious obvious that
Cleve is
Cleve
Amanda
is.
Seyfried.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Plus one grit to Paige, saying, "Don't be mean to Paige," says Chris.
Well, Chris, you paid 700 channel points for Tommy to be mean to Paige already.
I could use those. I could use that grit on other people than Paige.
Earmark that for not Paige.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to jump into the actual play, but before we do, we're going to transport our minds to the world of Manifest by checking out the absolutely killer character art. That too soon? Is
it still worth anything? This character art?
Literally
Do we need
nothing
new
has
character art.
Is it too soon? Literally nothing has happened since we died.
Enjoy the character art, everybody.
Murderer.
And we're back. Okay. Previously on Manifest Actual Play.
We died.
Yes. Previously on Manifest Actual Play, the Kumilican family found themselves a part of a small group of defenders of the settlement of Fenton against a cult known as the Cut, who are led by extremely uniquely powerful illuminated individuals who had taken a special interest in Fenton's strange anomaly of a pure water spring in the wastes. It turns out that was because it is what Paige Kumilican was able to identify as an luminescent anchor, a theoretical thing that had never been proven or observed, but theoretically it is a location or an item that has accrued so much luminescent energy that it defies all known laws of physics, and can behave completely erratically and strangely. It turns out that the spring of Fenton was caused by one such anchor, and the Cut was planning on doing something with that anchor. Max Burton, the twin sibling of Franny Kumilican and child of Cleve and Paige Kumilican, had started to make a connection with that anchor, despite how dangerous it was. It knocked Max out for about 3 days leading up to the attack from the cut. And then the cut arrived, and Cleve, Paige, freshly awakened Max, and Franny all stood off against the cut alongside Quentin Lemaire, and Cordelia Gray, gunslingers from the Legionnaires of Astoria, and also Mirabel Jimenez, the Australian preacher in town who refused to leave with the rest of the town. These 7 individuals stood off against overwhelming odds as the cut attacked in full force beyond the expectations of the 2 gunslingers, and things went poorly. The cut managed to remove the heart of the spring floating above the water, this ever blooming and dying and regrowing, undulating like mess of plants with a gold, bright light core at its center that they seemed to be siphoning off. And Max, in an attempt to stop the cut from getting what they wanted, tried to reconnect with the anchor one last time as fast and hard as possible. And Dan chose to shoot the moon, which is a thing you can do with grit, where instead of rolling a test, you just flip a coin, basically. And if it comes up good, you have miraculous success. And if it comes up bad, you have catastrophic failure. It came up bad. So what happened was the energy of the anchor became unstable and started creating weird anomalies all around the town of Fenton, ripping up the buildings, and it disintegrated Max. Max was vaporized. Paige, who was in her bus, was lifted up into the air as the metal of the bus became superheated and the air inside the bus vaporized, and Paige was cooked alive. Cleve, who was in the air, losing control of his jetpack in the winds of the Fire Night Storm, completely got yanked to the ground, pulled by the force of this energy surge, and crumbled and crushed against the surface of the ground. And Franny was the last to die as she saw the last little wisp of golden light of this falling apart heart of this spring, and attempted to just connect with it and stop the cut from getting it. And as she did that, she was hit in the heart with a surge of energy, which caused a heart attack, and she fell to the ground dying as she watched Quentin Lemaire walk out of the saloon, step over the corpse of her dead father as if it were nothing, and charged at what seemed to be his son, who was a member of the cut, who had baited him out. But then they weren't dead. Then the Kumilicans, who had all suffered horrific, terrible deaths, awoke in a dewy grove somewhere on Manifest, with a strange jackalope looking down at them with black and brown fur. They laid on the wet grass around some glowing stones and a jukebox. And a figure, as they stirred and awoke, a figure stepped out of the shadows of the forest around them. A man in his mid to late 40s, with runic tattoos all over his body, smoking a cigar, smiling with a metal tooth. The face that anyone who watched season 1 and season 2 might recognize as the face of Kinsey McCharlotte, stepping out and greeting the Kumilicans as they begin to stir. As you're all kind of regaining consciousness, kind of getting a little bit more control of your body, you can kind of feel this numbness and this weight kind of lifting off of you. The track on the jukebox shifts over and a new song starts. The last one was a much more jaunty tune. This one, a much more somber tune, a deeper voice singing out. If you're out on the road feeling lonely and so cold. All you have to do is call my name and I'll be there on the next train. Where you lead, I will follow anywhere that you tell me to. As you kind of like are able to open your eyes and the light of the like the light that's cutting through the kind of like rain clouds over this forest, like kind of you have to blink through and adjust to, your senses begin to come back. And this man steps out and says, "Well, it's about time you woke up. Here, let me help you." And he walks over to Max, who was the first to awake, reaching out a hand. And you all are able to kind of start sitting up, and you look around and you see your family unscathed in this strange place around you. As this man, he still has like a good like 15 feet to walk before he can actually help you up. He's just like starting to make his way towards Max.
Okay. I like shoot up. And is Cleve like nearby me? Like,
Cleve?
yeah.
Yeah. Your whole family is like you're all like kind of laying in like a cross, like your heads all
Okay.
nearby each other.
Yeah, I like immediately like scramble over to Cleve, and like I like because
You watch him get crunched up real bad.
yeah.
Real bad.
And I like I run like I like crawl over. I'm like, are you okay? Don't are you
I'm okay. Hey,
okay?
where's your mother? Where?
I over, Mama.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, oh,
Oh.
oh. Clevey, we dead?
I don't know yet. Max? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
no, I'm fucking. Yeah.
You're not. Oh, okay.
You can't beat that because I'm here, which means we're not dead.
It doesn't. That's not
I don't
how
understand.
it.
That doesn't make
No,
No,
that's not.
listen, I'm tired. Listen, he can't kill me. All right, so we can't beat that.
That's fair enough. You know what? I agree with Maxie. You're indestructible. I can't believe what happened. You?
Yeah.
Who?
Where the heck are we?
Who are you?
Yeah, who the fuck are you? What the fuck is that? What's coming out of that? Why does it suck?
The man looks a little confused and he goes, "Oh, this is awkward. I'm Kinsey McCharlotte. I was about to ask you, what do we do now? Is this not
Fucking what? No, hold on. That
Yeah,
you can't think
sorry.
we know what's going on.
I'm gonna have to agree with my child. You brought us back from the dead, and now you're sort of looking to us for guidance.
you died?"
I'll stand up and help Daddy up, and I'll be like, I'm Franny. And this is my family, Mr. McCharlotte.
You can just call
that
me
right?
Kinsey or Ken if you want to be short.
All right, Ken. All right. We fuck you, Dan.
This here is
We-
Umbra, he says, gesturing to the jackalope that has jumped back away from you with a burst of energy and is like curling around like a couple paces behind Kinsey.
That's a mighty fine jackalope there, Ken. We had a bit of a traumatic experience.
Right.
and it was over Fire Night, and the storm came in, and well, as far as I reckon, we all died, and then we didn't because we're all here.
Okay. Well,
We were fighting some terribly strange folk in our
I just don't understand. Is this still Fenton? If we're alive,
Daddy, this ain't no part of it I've ever seen.
oh, okay. I've misjudged the situation. I thought you would have answers for me, not the other way around. But it turns out, I mean, what do I know? Here, have a seat. And he gestures to some
You
like.
can't find 4 people passed out in the forest and think they gotta know what's going on here.
He gestures to some like perfectly formed like tree stumps and like logs that like seem to be kind of like naturally fallen over like trees that like create this like kind of like circular like sitting area that he has like a little fire pit in. And he walks over there. And you might notice that as he gets nearby there and kind of moves his hand a little bit, the embers that are kind of like in the bottom of that fire pit do just become a little small campfire as he walks by. No like big flourish or anything, but he walks by and he like a couple of his fingers move and the embers kind of like catch the wood and grow into like a campfire.
Hey, kids, I think that guy might be illuminated.
Do you think that you would say that quiet enough that he wouldn't hear?
Hey, are you fucking magic?
No, I don't think so. Anyways, please have a seat. You have to understand, you've been here, you were here first. You've been here for some time. I thought when you awoke that you would have answers for me.
Well, how long have you been here then?
Going on 20 years now, I think. I mean, time's a little strange, but by my count, I think it's been 20 years for me.
You gotta have picked up from context clues that you know more than us by now.
I am.
I'm sorry.
I'm answering the man's question.
So when you got here, we were already here.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I too experienced my own death. And then I was gifted with some visions that led me into a sandstorm, you see. It was middle of the the sulfur dunes. I wandered for days and days and weeks even, and only by the strength of Umbra was I able to continue on. My supplies had run short, but I knew I had to keep going, and there
Hey,
was...
you got anything to eat?
Absolutely. And he gestures over, and you notice there's like a beautiful like grove of like just like like naturally occurring like vegetables and berries and fruits and stuff.
Hey, Maxie, don't interrupt. He started getting into it. Okay, so something brought you here, and you're thinking maybe the same thing brought us.
I thought it was you. I thought I was sent here to do something for the 4 of you, but and you never woke up, and things were weird for a while, and then you woke up, and I thought, finally, some answers. But I guess I'm, as the young one says here, I might have more information than you. So,
well, I have one sort of theory I'd like to test out with you. Are you familiar at all with luminescent anchors?
No, not at all. Is that like a thing they use in the wastes to like stop boats really good?
No. That's, well, they could, sort of a waste. No, they don't. It's sort of the thing that was in the town that we were in. I never seen anything like it, and I was wondering, that's the big interesting thing around. Maybe it could have brought us here. I don't know. This is so interesting.
Hey, where's here?
That
Ooh, that's a good one, Maxie.
it's there's not a quick and easy answer to that. I could get into it if you'd like, but I'm more curious about what you experienced before you awoke, and then I will answer that question in time. I assure you, I have all the time in the world, and I only have the company of Umbra most times. People who wander through here don't stay for too long.
Oh, so there's others coming through here.
On
Besides
occasion.
you and Ambra.
Yes, though none of them had experience. It was a different experience for the rest of them. They sort of wandered through a storm and ended up here similar to how I did, but none of them had experienced their own demise, as you say you have, which is what started me on this journey to begin with. I was shot to death, brutally murdered by a terrible, terrible woman in Tobias Station. And, well, I experienced dying, and then I was alive. And
Hey,
Did you
I
happen
gotta-
to catch a name on that?
quick question, Tommy. Did Tobias Station exist?
yeah, absolutely. It was like extremely nice. It was like the pearl of the Badlands.
Do you think it's reasonable to say that I've been there?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
Jesus, you got fucking shot in Tobias Station with all those rich fucks? What'd you do?
Well, I was trying to overrule a bit of a rebellion, actually, sort of a revolution. You see, Tobias Station, well, the leader there was totally corrupt and was sucking the station dry and putting children to work for the family and well, me and my friends, we sort of stirred the pot a little bit there, and well, I did get shot and died, but then I didn't. That's the most important part. She shot me, I died, and then I wasn't dead, and I moved out of the way, and she missed me. How about that?
Are you sure you were actually at Tobias Station? Because, like, I've been there. It's pretty fucking nice, and there wasn't nobody shooting nobody there.
Did you only go to the upper crust?
Nah, I went to all the parts.
You ever
I
go
spent
to
a little
the
time there.
lower levels?
Was there a lower level when I was there, Tommy?
There was, and it was like extremely nice, affordable housing that like was like the like perfect place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you were talking about the ice cream that you
It
got.
was like suburbs, like like the lower levels was like
lower
suburbs.
levels. I mean, it was like dim because it's underground, but like it was well lit. I guess like the housing was nice. It was like a nice little grocery store.
Full of gangs and toxic fumes. Are we talking about the same place?
Nah, you must have gone to the wrong place.
Strange. Well, either way, I did get shot there, and I died. What? This is going to be a strange question. Because it's a strange question for even me. What year is it?
Shit, I forgot. Is it 230 something?
222.
Yeah, it's 222, man.
Good old 222.
All right.
Triple
Well,
dough.
there's the problem there. I was shot in the year, it must have been something around 423, 424.
All right, Paige, kids, we're not gonna get anything out of this guy. Maybe we should figure out. Let's try and get our bearings and let Mr. McCharlotte stay here in his camp. And we should.
To borrow a little bit of the spunk of the young one here, you think that you experienced your death and then were magically transported to a mysterious grove with a man who says that perhaps he's from a different time, and that's the part where your brain breaks.
You said 200 years and that we've been asleep for 20 years.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking shocking, but I'm still with you. The berries are good.
Okay, all right. So we've been asleep for 200 years.
Possibly, yes.
The pack.
To be fair,
pack.
it could be.
Clevey, the Wheelers.
Oh, I'll give you a moment. It seems like there's a moment happening here.
Paige,
Oh my God.
if it's 200 years, it's everybody.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, who did they get to
I'm
teach?
sorry. No,
There's no one in that pack who can hardly read. I don't. Oh.
Can I
Clevey.
have wandered off to try and like interact with this giant jackalope?
Absolutely.
I think probably not long enough. Long enough that Franny can absolutely interact with Umbra on her own.
Seth,
For a bit,
you
but
see, you're very
Max,
quiet. Yeah.
Seth,
your mic is very quiet. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah. Once Mom and Pop start talking about the flywheelers, my immediate reaction is like, "Fuck yeah, Birdie's dead." So I head off to find Franny.
Yeah, Franny, you walk up to this jackalope who takes a few steps back first, and then is like looking at you, one ear half at attention and kind of at a flop, the other one like pulled back.
Okay. Hey there, buddy. Hi. I'm Franny. Do you like a sugar cube?
Do you produce a sugar cube?
Yeah.
As you produce a sugar cube, it takes a step back as you move your hand, and then sniffs a little bit, like its big like nostrils like kind of like twitching back and forth like horizontally as it smells, and then it moves up a little bit, reaches its head, like extends its neck out, and then takes the cube, and you feel like its lips like against your palm as it like kind of like grabs the cube with its front little like teeth, and then it was like, and then jumps up, and there's this big like poof of air as it jumps up like in the air, kind of swings over you, lands down next to you, and like runs around a couple times, and then like ends up shoulder checking you and like kicking the ground a couple times.
So you like that? All right. Yeah. Are you 20 years old too? And I'm gonna pet the big face.
Yeah, just nuzzles into the pets. This thing's head is like bigger than like yours.
You ain't any different from any of the other jackalopes, are you? No, you're.
As you get behind the ear, there's like the sounds of like its massive hind leg like slamming into the ground. Also, +1 grit from Orky to the GM. Throws grit from own D&D session.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Max, you walk over and you see Franny petting this big jackalope. Paige and Cleve, you two are continuing to discuss the realities of the situation.
I'm sorry.
As
I
you're-
just don't understand.
As you're kind of like going on, being like, "Oh no, it's everyone!" I'm like, just like cutting through, interrupting your like kind of panicked conversation. He goes, 422. That's when it was 422.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's right. Because
Well,
Harry
exactly
became
200 years. I wonder if that's something.
Harry was the mayor in 424, and I was late for that, but I did go.
Okay. All right. Oh, God. Well, I don't know. I guess they found a way somehow.
It's remember when I said time is strange here?
Sure.
What I've learned about this grove in my time here is that it's ever changing, and new paths open and close. I've tried to map it, and I know my way around the outdoors, but it's never the same. I've found locations I've been to before, but the paths that lead to them are different, and the paths that lead out of the grove are different as well, and they lead to different places and different times.
Wow.
So
Okay.
where do we go to get back to 2022?
I have no idea.
Don't go there.
Sure. Well, but more important, I mean, why do people get brought here?
A variety of reasons. It's never been. I've been here for 20 years, and I tried to learn the secrets of this place, and I found that the more and more I relaxed about it, and I stopped trying to force answers about why I was here, the easier it became for me to understand what I was meant to do. Paths would open up, and I'd arrive in strange times and places, and I would maybe help a person here or there, or simply observe a time or a place that I never would have seen before. And occasionally, people would find themselves lost in a storm and appear here, and a path would appear for them to get them where they needed to go. Those folks, they were on their own journeys, great ones, to be sure. Why they were chosen to arrive here, I was not sure. Like I said, I hoped that you had answers. When I arrived here, one of the first places I found was this grove here, where the four of you lay, amongst those glowing stones. And I thought, well, first I tried to wake you up for a while, and that didn't work. And I'm not too bad with medicine. I checked and made sure you were totally fine. You didn't need to be fed. I didn't need to do that. It wasn't anything like that. You were just there, and you just didn't age, and you didn't go hungry, and you were just fine. And that really cooked my noggin for a while, and then I just finally gave up trying to figure it out. And I mean, let alone the bus. And so then...
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. The bus?
Oh, yes, of course. And he walks over, and as he walks over, like, Umba pushes away from Franny and bounces around, like, kind of behind him, and actually jumps up and perches in some tree branches over what you now see is, like, a, like, vine-laden, like, tarp, that Kinsey pulls down, and it, shows your bus, Paige, completely unscathed. He goes, I've done my best to keep it up and, I mean, I haven't driven it anywhere, but I've changed the oil, and it's on blocks right now because I didn't want to have to deal with tire pressure. It didn't seem like it was going anywhere soon, but I've tried to maintain it. I thought maybe it was important. Is it important? Do you know anything about the bus?
Yeah, yes. Oh my God, this is my bus. Well, oh, okay. Well, no, you don't need to put it on blocks. It's sort of hover technology.
Right.
It
So-
makes sense that there's not tires.
These glyphs that are written on it, these paintings,
Oh, sure.
what is their purpose?
The kids
What
sort of
I've
just
understood,
drew-
I see there's some Warrican, and I thought perhaps there was
Oh,
there
that
was
one's
something,
Maxie.
and then there was this fuck birdie that seems to be on it,
Oh,
and
Max, come on. Oh, all right. We can't have that. You know,
it looked fresher than the rest,
When-
and I thought,
when they were young, they just wrote butts on it a bunch. So, boy, not a lot of potential culprits here.
right, but the birdie, what's the birdie?
He's Birdie is a guy. Don't worry about it. He's just some guy. Okay, all right. Okay.
Is he who
let
killed
me-
you?
No. He's a guy, and well, he's probably long gone. So, okay, all right. Okay. I'm putting my brain together. Let me check here, because. All right, back in my time in 222, I read an article in this. It's not quite. I would pick it up from time to time if I didn't have anything else on my list. I was reading the Gardener's Quarterly, and there was this sort of like article about these quantum hops where people would sort of jump from time and place based on where they needed to go, and like a lot of things in that magazine, it wasn't really connected to like reality or science or anything that had been proven, but it sounds, I mean, if the bus is here, then we're here. The bus isn't alive. They wouldn't bring the bus unless they wanted us to do something on it, right? Cleve?
Who's
Mr. McCharlotte?
who's they? Who is the person that brought us here in the first place? But we don't even know what this is.
Well, you know,
It could
I-
just be random. I mean,
No.
we have to get back because the cut's gonna tear down Fenton, and they're gonna do what goodness knows what with that thing.
There it is, Kinsey says with a little bit of deflation.
What is?
Well, like I said, it's been anything but samey, my 20 years in this grove. But there are some names that come up more often than others. And they are the names of the leaders of the cut,
oh,
led by a truly terrible bastard, Owen Lemaire,
okay.
who has been... For a time, I thought perhaps I was meant to stop him. I would sometimes witness the effects of his presence throughout time. He's been alive for at least hundreds of years. He's an Everlight, you see. And he was searching for the grave of his father, where a great weapon was stored. And, well, From what I can tell, he acquired it not too long ago. Well, it's hard to say not too long ago. I've only peered as far forward as the year 427.
Ah,
In
well, shoot.
that year, Owen Lemaire finally gets what he's been searching for hundreds of years. The way to his father's reliquary, where he can unleash hell on the world. In the name of the cut, I assume. They've been around for as long as Manifest, as long as we've been here as a people. The cut is ancient and malicious in their intent. I don't presume to know what their end goals are, but from my brief time with Owen Lemaire, I know that they are not good. And from what I've seen over the myriad of years I've traveled, they seek destruction and pain.
Or, well, then that must be it, Cleve. I mean, if they can't die, so it makes sense they've been around for so long. They just sort of hop around, I guess. But, and I mean, that must be, we must know something or have something that whatever thinks is useful, right? I mean, that's the first thing that you've talked about, Mr. Kin, that happened just now, right?
This is
They-
far forward as I've seen. There was a pair that came through here, and they were skirting around the mystery for some time, but I didn't have the time that they rolled through. I was unsure. And then later I revisited their trail a little way down the road, and I learned what befell of them. And, well, they bore witness to the triumph of Owen Lemaire, I suppose.
They saw him get the weapons.
Well, funny you would say that. The way to the reliquary was hidden for hundreds of years, etched on a map split between two pistols owned by his father, Quentin Lemaire, hidden in secret by Quentin's apprentice, Cordelia Gray, and their location lost to history. But Owen Lemaire walked through time for, well, I like to call it the slow way around, and eventually was able to track them down. And to my knowledge, he did track them down and is currently, as of the year 427, in possession of those guns, and therefore has no doubt visited the reliquary and gotten his hands on whatever the weapon is. If I were to venture a guess, knowing that Owen Lemaire, for an extremely long time, for at least 200 years, has been operating relatively alone with mere minions at his beck and call, I would have guessed that the reliquary was more of a prison for the other 12 members of who led the cut.
Oh,
The other Everlights that held counsel with Owen Lemaire.
oh, okay. Boy, it would have been really nice to come in before all that, I'd say. But, okay, well, there must be, it's, I've said this a lot, there must be something we can do to help, but truly, there must be something we can do to help.
Well, then why didn't we help in 222? Why didn't we help when we could have stopped him, and he would have been finished centuries before?
Would you care to
Before
enlighten
men
me
could do something? Why not then?
what occurred to you? What you remember?
Hey, Max. We're over to the side. Would you? I need a mirror or something. I can't see, but like I got like shot or burnt or something on my like right under my collarbone. I can't see it. Will you look?
Yeah,
Just
all right.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah. I'll take here my get there. Just like and
Yeah.
then have Max look at like the
yeah,
burn.
what's that?
Yeah.
There is what somewhat looks like a tattoo, almost like closer to like a henna tattoo, in its like kind of like texture and like color tone on Franny's chest right over her heart. It's 4 little dots and kind of like I don't have the perfect words to describe it, but like this mirrored calligraphy of like very delicate lines that kind of swirl perfectly mirrored against each other around these 4 dots and kind of like branch out a little bit.
What is it? It's like pretty itchy. What is it?
As Franny's like kind of like touches it a little bit, you do notice like it doesn't glow, but it's like the light catches it differently. And what you see as the light catches it differently, like looking at oil over a shine of water or over a pool of water or something along those lines, you see this kind of glisten of gold energy, of golden light that kind of like glimmers a little bit as it shifts and she touches it.
I don't know what the fuck that is, but that ain't from getting shot for sure. I know what it's not. It's not from getting shot.
Okay. Well, what is it like? It's like because it like
Yeah,
it
it's sort of
happened
like
during the
4
fight, and it was
dots,
like-
and then it's got like these sort of like mirrored squigglies coming off, and when you touch it, it glows.
When I touch it, it glows.
Like glows ain't exactly right. It's sort of like you ever see like oil on water or whatever? And,
Like a shimmer.
yeah, like sort of like a shimmer. It's like catching the light weird.
Oh, like okay, that's weird.
But when you
Okay.
touch it, which
When-
doesn't make any fucking sense.
right, because there would be less light then.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
Max like says that and kind of like turns and glances over down the grove, like just like checking on your parents, you notice that what Max just described, you see on the like not perfect back, like the muscly like side of the back of Max's neck.
By incredible traps.
And it stands out a little bit actually because like it's not like Max is covered in like these like black like tattoos that move when they use their illuminated powers, but this is of a different style, and also it's not like ink, it's just kind of there.
Wait, hold on. Turn back again.
Yeah, all right, what? What?
Okay,
I got
wait,
it.
no.
I got like a big bug on me?
No, you don't have a big bug on you. I don't. It's so you okay. So my thing is like you said 4 dots with like
yeah, and then like
with
the squigglies.
squigglies. Okay, and it's sort of like here. Give me your hand,
All right, yeah.
and I touch it with Max's.
You also witness as like Max's hand kind of moves over it, there's that little shimmer of gold.
You got do you feel that? Because
I mean,
you got
I feel
I think
using
you
my
got
hand to poke me in the neck.
yeah. Well, it's because you got a shiny, shimmering, dotty, spotty thing on the back of your neck.
That's probably something, right?
I mean, the same thing. Like I know that we're like illuminated and twins, but like that ain't
Yeah,
that,
twin
that
illuminated.
ain't either of those things. I told you we're not calling ourselves that.
All right, fine.
We'll go ahead, Cleve and Paige, if you guys are cool with it, unless there's anything that you would not tell Kinsey about, like what happened to you. I think you can, in this time, have kind of caught him up to speed on what happened in Fenton.
Who
And
else
then
are we gonna-
yeah, we sort of all disappeared.
And as this is happening, Cleve, you look over at your kids. You see them doing something where they're like, I don't know, comparing
Wait, I
like,
can't touch
each
it
other.
myself.
yeah, they're like poking, and then
They
you
look like they're roughhousing.
It's up.
you look over at Paige, and like during your conversation with Kinsey, like you kind of have shifted to the other side of Paige, and you notice something on Paige that isn't there. You actually might even think it's like a smudge or something, but on Paige's temple, on her left temple, just before like her hairline, you see this like kind of like almost brown like tattoo looking thing that is 4 dots and these kind of like very delicate light lines that are kind of branching out from those dots.
Honey, what's this here? And I kind of like thumb at it on her forehead to see if it comes off.
It doesn't come off, but you do see a little glow shimmer.
I don't know. Lick your finger.
Yeah, it doesn't come off, but every time you go over it, you do see that kind of like weird way that like when you touch it, it like catches the light weird.
Does it feel any different?
Nope, you don't feel it at all.
I thought we were gonna get our first tattoos together. What? When is this?
I'm sorry. I got a little page on my ankle, but I didn't think you'd see.
Oh no.
I was talking about this. You got another one too? Oh, Pagey.
Oh well, it was Franny's birthday, and I wanted to do something nice, and so we gave each other sort of. Up here. No, I don't have anything up there.
Let's go ahead and do a quick little sound check. Seth, apparently you still sound quiet. Can you say some more stuff?
Sure, yeah. Well, I can turn this up and see if that helps. I'm sorry that it's quiet, everybody. I apologize. We didn't really do sound checks, so you should really blame Tommy.
It's me, yeah. You looked good at the beginning. Keep going, keep going.
So I'm turned. I can keep going up.
Keep
I
going,
can
keep going.
Going up and further
Keep
and
going.
further and further and
Keep going.
further and further.
There you
and
go.
further
No,
and
no,
further.
no, no, no.
Is that it?
No, go down a little bit. Go down a little bit.
A little bit, down a little bit. Is that what we're looking for?
And Roman, just go ahead and give yourself a little touch.
Yeah, I gave it a little crank.
Okay, cool.
Sorry. Thanks for that. We're a-okay. Everything's fine here.
Yep. So anyways,
How are you?
yeah. So Paige, yeah, you realize that he's talking about something else that you can't really see.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't
Did you-
put there.
Did something? Were you hit by something before you disappeared?
Oh my god, yeah, I got shot, I think. Well, okay, all right. But no, because it doesn't make sense because I felt like I got shot in my head, but then I wasn't dead yet. And then they threw the bus, and that feels like, sort of overkill.
Wait a sec. Well, look, just and Cleve, like, I don't know if he can pull his bomber jacket down low enough.
Nah,
to
you just gotta rip off the whole top, bruh.
Cleve takes off his jacket and starts
Takes off his shirt
unbuttoning it.
underneath, one-handed.
It's
Yeah.
like any excuse to take his shirt
Ew,
off.
they're not that itchy. I've got a special anti-itch shirt. They're wicked.
Max and Franny, you look over and you see your dad's not wearing a shirt.
It's like he goes outside for 10 minutes and the shirt comes off.
Boy says
Actually,
he
that
needs
is a
that,
lot
like,
more
vitamin D,
comfortable.
and I guess I guess he just has that surplus or something. I don't know.
I mean, did you want to go on the bus? It's been 200 years, I guess.
Do you see anything behind my shoulder blades back there?
Oh,
You
here,
do.
Turn.
What you see right in between the shoulder blades, actually, you don't know this yet because you haven't seen Max and Franny's or really your own, but larger than all 3 of the rest of them, is a similar piece on Cleve's back in between the shoulder blades, just a little bit bigger than the rest. The rest are like this big, and then like Cleve's is like this big, just like a few inches bigger in diameter. And it's four hollow dots with this kind of very light calligraphy that wraps around them and branches out.
That's
That's
what
the
wow.
patriarchy for you.
I didn't realize the mystic arts recognize prospector claims.
Oh, that's oh wow. Okay. All right. Hey, I guess we did sort of get them together.
Is it like 4 dots and the lines are inverted and
Yeah.
all right, Mr. McCharlie. All right,
It lights
I
up.
believe you. This is clearly something to do with fate. So I'm sorry I doubted you before.
Oh, it's fine. People doubt me all the time.
It's so true.
I tried to weaponize that shit.
You did weaponize that.
Good effect, yeah. Okay, so what? We're here to take out the cut then? Cleve does not put his shirt back on, by the way.
Plus one. Perfect timing, +1 grit to Paige. From Tenetic, that other tattoo also gives you power.
Hey.
Thank
you.
Right. All right. Well, it does seem like your town befell a terrible thing, and it was during a time where the cut was particularly active in whatever it is they were attempting to do before they were brought down by Quentin Lemaire and Cordelia Gray. Well, at this moment, you all as you come to recognize your things. Max and Franny, do you go over to, are you still hanging out by?
Probably we see Pop over there with his shirt off and the slightly bigger one. It's like, oh, okay, so he did it for a reason, at least this time. Also, that's weird, right? Should we go over there?
No, we should.
Yeah,
No, that's
right.
okay.
Hey, Franny, you absolutely can't tell Mom and Pop this as we're like getting closer and closer. I think I really fucked up.
I won't. But you're gonna tell me what happened.
Yeah, no, 100% sure, whatever.
As the four of you come together and Cleve, you have that moment of like kind of acceptance. You feel the like mark on your back. Like you feel a warmth. And as that happens, it kind of does just the faintest of glows. And Paige, you feel it too. Max, you feel it too. Franny, you feel it too. All of you, your marks kind of get this warmth. And you can see, whoever can see any of the marks can see as those lines extend out and continue in their pattern, mirroring each other by every direction, creating this kind of like intricate, almost circular pattern that kind of like branches out from those four circles. And as that happens, each of you gains a new advancement trigger in addition to your original 4.
Oh,
What?
This is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
A 5th advancement trigger.
Oh my god.
Max.
There are no rules anymore.
Campaign 3, baby!
Because we ended the last 2 or 3 sessions, each time 1 XP away from 1 XP.
1 XP.
Max, you gain an advancement trigger that reads as follows. You risk life and limb to prevent an action taken by a tainted individual. Tainted is capital T.
I could hear it.
Paige,
Mhm.
you receive the advanced trigger. You learn a new aspect of the machinations of the tainted.
Oh, all right.
Cleve, you receive the advancement trigger. You sacrifice something in order to oppose the goals of the tainted.
Yeah, all right.
And Franny, you receive the advancement trigger. You tend to the needs of someone wronged by the tainted.
Okay.
Interesting.
And as you kind of feel that warmth, that like brief notion that like Paige has said a couple times and Cleve, you started to kind of accept, kind of washes through the family. As you all get just this like kind of feeling like this obviously happened for a reason. And like, you don't want the cut to succeed. Just a little bit. The depth of the conviction there, up to you. But there is that little fire, as bright or as dim as you want within your character, as this advancement trigger becomes part of the way that you guys can level up.
Yeah, what's this new path? It's path of the follows the main story?
Path of the story hook?
Path of the protagonist.
Path of the protagonist!
Yeah. Solid.
Oh my god, that's got to be a fucking like Unearthed Arcana style thing.
You walk into
Dan,
any
quick,
saloon.
write that in the thing.
Yeah. Hold on.
Discord, let's go.
you walk into a saloon, you oppose bad people.
You walk
A
into
job
a
is
saloon and
offered.
spot a shadowy figure in the corner.
Also, you are the shadowy figure in the corner. Okay, anyways. Yes. That is what you all kind of feel in that moment. And then Kinsey goes, "Oh. Something just happened. What just happened?"
I think we're getting our hop.
What?
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 I mean, you said people come here for a reason, and then they go where they need to go, where something needs doing, and they need to do it. I feel like we just sort of got our heading. We got our direction.
Great. Well, that's good. There's only one path out right now I can see. And he points, and there's just one path that leads out. And he walks over to it.
Perfectly bus-sized.
He walks over to it. It's quite wide. He walks over to it, and he actually like walks a couple steps into it, and he like brushes a leaf and like smells a flower and like licks his thumb and goes, 427.
Of course.
I don't believe you.
He gives you
I
this.
believe that that's the year. I don't believe that's how you figured it out.
He gives you the smallest of grins.
I didn't have to lick a leaf to tell you. I mean, of course, that's where we got to go. That's when we need to be. Everyone hop on the dang bus. So good to meet you, Kinsey.
So what? We're like fucking chosen ones or something?
You've always been the chosen one in my heart, Maxie.
All right, Pop. That's okay.
But yeah, no, I think we are sort of chosen. Oh, well, that's fun. Sort of a family adventure.
I know. We've got the tattoos. Should we all start a family band too? Let's just make this a whole thing.
Oh, I would love that.
Maxie, you're on keys.
The track changes over on the
Wait,
jukebox.
why is it
Here I
Graham,
am,
please?
riding on a Warrican.
Yeah.
What is this? Is this a machine that only plays bad sounds?
What? These are the sultry tones of Bobby Klein, a man ahead of his time. I have a kinship with him in that way.
Also, if I may submit, I believe the music that cuts on is Manifest Row.
I agree
Well-
to disagree.
So, I may be of some service if you believe that is why you are here. Like I said, I've spent some time wandering the grove and experiencing different parts of the last hundreds of years. And at the very least, I know a little bit about the leaders, and I don't know, I have a feeling that perhaps this isn't the last we see of each other.
Well,
You were here.
you said that you were acquainted with
Rufus?
Owen Lemaire?
Sorry, Owen Lemaire. Yes. When I
Wait,
met
who the
him,
fuck is Rufus?
when I met him, he was going by the name Rufus.
What a dumb name.
It was the name of the man he was inhabiting.
Woof.
Wait, I'm sorry. He inhabits people?
I mean, it follows, Daddy. They don't actually like not age.
Yeah, remember
that's
we
what-
saw the fucking ghoul.
I don't know. We
The-
didn't age for 200 years, right? I just thought.
Yeah, but we're chosen ones, Pop. It's different.
That's a good point.
Some might question whether or not the cuts are chosen in their own way.
Well, that's
I hate
not.
that.
Yeah, I don't really like that very much. But I will ask, did you have like is there somewhere we can, like, you said you were at this at the Tobias station when you fought with this man, or
Or I didn't fight him in Tobias Station. I was shot by the station master. Well, the effective
I'm sorry,
station master.
where was it that you were interfacing with this fella?
Oh, well, first it was in the garden around in the Alanestead territory. We were aboard a prisoner convoy, you see, and he was running a gang at the time under the guise of Rufus Nash, and he was after the guns, who was being held by this.
Sheriff face comes on. I have experienced this many times before.
The Dead Man's Gang, you see, what a clever title if you think about it. Okay.
I will get more food.
Descended upon the camp, and me and my friend Roland and my friend Pax, we fought them off, all of us alone, and we were given our freedom by the Marshal Leonard Yen, who entrusted us with the secret of where the gun was. We hid it in a cave, you see, because the Dead Man's Gang was not done, and then we infiltrated them and tore them apart from the inside. My own plan, you see, and.
Wow.
Absolutely fuck off, Ken.
A little bit of help from Roland and Pax, and we were on our way, taking apart the Dead Man's Gang from inside. It was only then that we learned that Rufus was in fact Owen Lemaire, an Everlight in disguise, who was after the gun for different reasons than fame and glory, but for more nefarious means. So we entrusted the sheriff with the gun, and then went off on our way to the Badlands to seek our own fortunes, only to find Rufus in Tobias Station. He was pretending to be a patron of our bar that we started there, and then we did a revolution, and he took advantage of all the chaos to find the other gun. But then Pax and Leonard went into hiding. See, they kind of had a thing, and
Hey, wait, hold on.
Is
Talk
he
more
running
about
their
that.
prison chain? I don't get it.
So they went into hiding with one of the guns because we knew that Owen had the other one, or at least he told us that he did, and we believed him. I mean, we looked into it afterwards. I'm sure Roland did, and then that was it for some time. But then he cropped up again. He was pretending to be a scientist at a military garrison in Fort Dearborn, and he created this serum that would make illuminated people more powerful, and he gave it to this total asshole named Leo Riggs. And he did so because Leo knew where Pax and Leonard were, because well, Leo switched sides a lot, actually, over the time we knew him. So he actually helped Leonard and Pax hide eventually. He was instrumental in that. But then he switched sides again because he was sort of like a really bad guy. And so he took the serum and he gave the information away. And I don't know what happened to Pax and Leonard, but I do know that Owen got the gun, and so I can't imagine Pax is dead. I think she's literally unkillable. So it has to be that he snuck in and got it or something. And so I don't know where
do we find this Pax
I-
person
I
or
don't
this
know.
Leonard person or this Leo person?
Well, you can't find Leo. As far as I know, he's dead. Like dead. Not like Everlight dead, like dead.
Most people
Okay.
get that way. Okay, so we're looking for this Leonard.
Leonard Yen, formerly Marshal Leonard Yen of the Alanestead territory.
Marshall Yen. Perfect. Where do we find him?
I'm not sure. He and Pax, their locations were hidden, even from me.
Do you know the location of
Okay.
anybody involved with this who can help?
Yeah, Han, you
What
sort of
about
tell
the
stories at,
other
like, a
fella,
first grade level.
the fella that was helping you with your bar revolution, your gastropub or whatever?
Oh, Roland.
Yeah, where's he?
Oh, well, as far as I know, he's traveling with the new Riveteers. I think they just call themselves the Riveteers again now.
That's the Nomad Pack, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Oh, that'll be nice.
yes, Mo,
like
you
to
see-
know
know
what
exactly where they
nomad
fucking
packs
are.
like now.
So you see, my mother actually runs that nomad pack, a woman by the name of Tusk, and then my sister-in-law, or stepsister, stepsister,
Sister/sister-in-law. Yeah.
yeah, stepsister slash sister-in-law. If you think of me as Roland's brother, which I kind of do, she is like the second in command, and so is Roland. It's like a kind of a co-captaincy, and they are in the Western Badlands.
Western Badlands, like northern Western, like more like
They
closer
serve the
to,
town
like,
of Soldina.
That's got to be on a map, right?
Yes, probably on a map. That's
It'll
probably-
be on a map. It's
Okay.
All right.
it's
Is it like close to like closer to Markham's Landing?
to find
It's a nice
Soldina, you go
station.
to the west until you hit the mountains, and then you go north, and you'll find an oasis there. Then you take a degree 30 to the north east, and you go there for 3 days' time, or 2 if you're going fast. It looks like this is a fast vehicle.
No, I'm sure that's probably where
So
it's gonna put us out.
Then you'll
right?
find the Ophidian
Danny's
clan within
gonna-
the Snakebite Canyon, and they can
All right,
lead you to
I
Soldina.
can't overstate how much I hate that this is useful information.
Just please, Mr. McCharlotte, can please just continue.
That was it. That's how you can
Oh.
get there, or you can
Okay,
find a
yeah,
map.
you
It will
got
be
all
on a
that
map.
down?
Daddy, you got that?
The page, if you got that.
Yeah, hon.
It'll be on a map.
Yeah, hon, I got it.
It will
What
be
if
on
it's
like.
not on a map, Max?
Oh, no. It's actually becoming one of the primary spice exports for the Badlands.
Hmm.
Yes,
Actually got pretty
sure.
good food then.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yes. Munson
can't
spice.
wait.
It's a nice spice. And I happen to be a shareholder myself, though I haven't gone to collect for some time.
Sure. Well, spice is the best.
Money's kind of
It's
not
our
really
spice.
worthwhile here, you know.
That was the worst.
I cannot respond to this joke.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I mean, we're probably just gonna come out there, I'd bet, or somewhere around there. We'll figure it out.
We'll definitely find
How do
you.
we find you again?
You're not going to like the answer.
We
I'd
like
rather
activate our
hear it
chosen
than
one
not.
powers.
You'll find us.
He touches his nose and points at Paige.
Yeah. Franny, we're here. There's something that's opposing all these bad folks and wants our help, and it's gonna help us. And well, the only way to find out is to experiment. So we got to get out there.
Can we take some of this food?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
It's very kind of you, McCharlotte. I appreciate that ever so much.
Absolutely. I'm here to help anyone that wanders the grove.
Oh, hey, is my jetpack around here somewhere?
There is a jetpack in the bus.
Oh, excellent. Perfect.
And a motorcycle, too.
Think.
Should be two motorcycles.
Oh, if you can count the other one as a motorcycle.
I mean, it's all painted and stuff, but it's still a motorcycle.
Wait, hold on. I don't love this. You know what? Actually, fuck this grove. Let's get out of here.
Is there anything else you can tell us that'll be helpful for our travels, McCharlotte?
I know the names and a little bit about some of the leaders of the cut. I think that might be worthwhile. And honestly, who knows how much time will pass for me between our next meeting. I feel it in my bones that
Is
we
this
will
the
cross
first
paths
time though
again.
you've met us? I guess.
Yes, this would be, well, I mean, like I said, 20 years ago, you were just there.
but like we don't like show up in your past and you know that we do, and then you are telling us that you don't. So there's like not a wibbly wobbly thing.
Well, if I had the answer to that, could I possibly answer you?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've never talked to you before. This is our first time.
Okay,
I honestly
wonderful.
thought that you were going to have all the answers I've been waiting for.
No. Just.
But the
making sure.
Grove has got me again. What can I say? Every time I think I haven't figured out, I'm just wrong.
Okay. So there's a bunch of so the jetpack and the bus and the bikes are on the bus, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, so why don't you guys go make sure they're all roadworthy? Because I'm sure Mr. McCharlotte has done a good job on that.
You
and-
will have to put the tires back on the bus. I and air them up.
Once
It's a-
again, there are no tires. Not a one. Oh my
Oh!
god! They lost hover technology. Oh, what's the future like, Mr. McShark?
Oh!
Is there anything we should know?
That's what I thought. It had a bunch of tires, and it was just missing them. I have it propped up on these bricks, but it will just float.
Oh, you poor. Yeah, no, it's gonna be.
Wow, that's hover technology from your time.
Uh huh. Yeah. No. What's different now? What should
It's
we know before we
smaller.
get out there? It's smaller.
No, like now it's like my friend had a hover car, and it was sleek.
Okay.
And
fine.
and
Well,
this
hey,
is like I thought those were wheel wells. That's how
Actually,
huge
I'm-
it is.
I'm high on the Grove again. The Grove is great.
I really honestly thought that this was some weird like multi or treads or something. I wasn't sure. I didn't think that was hover technology.
Yeah, go on. Tell us more about what you thought about it.
No. Okay. Look.
Well, so
Mama-
we're sure
Mama,
that
why
the
don't you go
paintings
check
don't
it out?
mean anything,
I'm gonna
right?
go check
Mama,
on the
why don't you
bus.
go check it out?
Thank you, Mr. McCharlotte. Thank you, Umbra. Okay. All right. Thank you. And Fish goes. Checks on the bus.
You said Umber's name, so Umber bounces after you and like watches you from the front of the bus.
Hi there, sweetie. Yes. No. This is the bus. Hi.
Like paws on the hood of the bus, watching you from the windshield.
No, we can't. Oh.
As soon as you brush him off, it just every
All
time.
right. Okay.
Cool, Daddy. Why don't you and Maxie go check out the rest of the stuff? I'm no use for that kind of stuff, and I'll see if Mr. McCharlotte remembers anything else that he wants to tell me.
All right. sweetie.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
All right. Hey, go ahead, Pop.
Yeah. Sorry. Just do you have a tape of that Bobby Klein stuff?
Oh my God. I swear to God.
I have multiple. I'll go grab the spares. Well, I suppose after I talk to your daughter here, the sheriff of Fenton, I assume.
That's right. She don't take her too seriously. She doesn't mean half of it. And then Cleve goes tell
The
tell
fuck?
Paige.
Pop?
Literally everything I say.
Freddy's a real whole sheriff. All right. Hey, I don't know what these are.
I'm not. I'm out of a job currently. Go
Hey,
over
listen,
there,
the town
Max.
don't make the sheriff. The sheriff makes the town. Yeah, I
Mr.
hold up like a
I'll
weird.
help you carry those tapes.
I hold up like a weird like green and orange fruit that I don't know. Like, hey, I don't know what these are. Grab as many as you can. They're fucking good.
Okay, I will. Yeah. So I go and help Kinsey. I grab a bunch of fruit and whatever else there's around the grove, some like fresh water, and then and supplies, and then I grab the tapes with Kinsey, and I reserve the right to flash back to this point.
Set a save point here.
And then I get on the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. I will tell you
thank you, Ken,
the
I
very
guess.
the like surface level stuff that you get just by talking to Kinsey are the list of 13 names
Oh.
and like the basics of what he knows about these 13 individuals who are known to be the leaders of the cut. 12 of which, from Kinsey's understanding, have been inactive for hundreds of years, with Owen Lemaire as the only active leader of the cut for some time. But he does know that 200 or so years ago, all of them were active until the end of the what Kinsey calls the schism, the gunslinger schism. He's like, it's a period of time where the gunslingers were all at each other's throat and the cut just kind of thrived. It was right around actually when the four of you just kind of. He's like, does a little like slash a callous slash motion at his throat.
He doesn't know.
So there's Owen Lemaire, of course, son of Quentin Lemaire, failed gunslinger novitiate of the Legionnaires of Astoria. They're based out of the Heartwood Forest, He tells you roughly like how to get there. He tells you like take the Pilgrimage River to da 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 da, and like gives you like the kind of location of it. He's like, I've been there once before. And then he goes, his second in command is a woman by the name of Layla San. She's a bit of a shadow. But I hear tell it she appears out of thin air and assassinates people on Owen's orders. And then there's Dimitri Giannis, who I understand you met. Seems you know quite a bit more about his abilities than I do. I knew he was terrifying, and he normally, when the cut wanted to intimidate their way through a situation, Giannis would be the first to arrive. He's sort of the mouthpiece of Owen Lemaire. And then there's Rigby Whitaker, who, from what I can tell, had acolytes that would willingly give him control of their bodies and in service to the cut, and he could channel luminescent powers through them that they would normally not be able to. It seemed a way for the cut to enhance their prowess if they needed numbers. Marceline Averill, lover to Owen Lemaire, and a dark, brilliant scientific mind. Honestly, some of the work that Owen reportedly did when he was in Brimstone Garrison in Fort Dearborn territory, I have to assume he learned some of that from Marceline. And that sounds like the kind of things that she would do, that sort of experimentation on people. And then there's Ainsley Lynette. I know very little about her, but I understand that she serves a sort of support role amongst the cut. If they were ever grievously injured, it was always Lynette was not too far away when they would return triumphant. And then there's Tomome Young, who I believe you had a brief insight into his abilities. He seems to have a perverse control over nature. Then there's Adelard Constantine, a proper gunslinger, who was turned by Owen Lemaire, fell out of sorts, and, well, I mean, a gunslinger's a gunslinger, right? And then Alexei Avenir, a trickster of sorts, an illusionist. I believe what you and your sibling encountered was the handiwork of Alexei. The sort of illusions that befell you. Then there's Emi Masuyo, a brute, strong. The legends that revolve around the cut you have to sift through and take with a grain of salt. There's people who say that Masuyo lifted a whole saloon over her head once and tossed it at a man. Things like that. She's a bit of a tall tale, honestly. Though those who know the deeper truth know to be a little more afraid. Teresa Rios, a tinkerer, worked hand in hand with Marceline to create all sorts of nefarious devices in their time. Wreaked hell on the gunslingers during the schism. Darren Tobias. Again, I don't know too much about Darren. A manic individual from all reports. But beyond that, I'm unsure. Then Leon Vargas. What I was able to learn about him was that he had a long time spent in the mercenary corps, both legitimate and illegitimate. And those are the 13 leaders of the cut.
So what is it that they want? Just general destruction? Is that what it is?
That's what follows in their wake.
They're not looking for dominion, they're looking for destruction.
They don't seem to claim anything. From what your family told me, it looked like they were seeking power when they attacked Fenton. Some sort of well of luminescent energy that they were trying to tap into.
Yeah.
But
I
it
don't think they
wasn't
got
too
all of
long
it.
after that encounter that they fell. And Owen was presumed dead for quite some time. The cut thought defeated. Really, they were just hiding in the shadows, waiting for generations to pass so that Owen could climb out of the shadows and begin his search. That's what I understand, at least, to be the history of the cut. From their most active time till now. But like I said, there are rumors of them even during the factory wars. Let me tell you, the factory wars are something else.
Huh. Well, I thank you for your thank you for all that information, Ken, and I bet we see each other again. You take care of that jackalope. It's a good fella.
Yes, little bit of a nuisance, but a faithful companion, to say the least.
I bet people say that about you too.
You're not wrong. But I know there's a certain intuition that comes from accepting what I like to think of the will of the grove. I know we will cross paths again. I think I was brought here for a reason. I thought it was to do whatever you needed and you would tell me. But I think perhaps it is to assist you when necessary.
Well, I hope that we find out sooner rather than later. You're the only person I know in
427.
century or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
So, to be honest, I didn't really know that many people where I came from. So, and I'll like shake his hand.
He shakes yours. And then he stops. As he shakes your hand, he kind of stops for a second. He goes, if you travel to the Western Badlands, you may want to take a jaunt through Piazza Basin.
All right.
I think there might be a town there called New Fenton.
Really? Okay.
I don't know too much more, but it comes to mind as a place I've seen on a map before.
Well, that is excellent information. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Shakes your hand. Unlike does the cigar, like letting like the ashes kind of drop onto the ground, like kind of like puts them into the dirt, and then like tears up and like sprinkles the like, you know, natural decomposing like hemp like cigar wrapper, and then starts rolling himself a new one.
And then take a deep breath because I don't like cars, and I get in the bus.
Will you please put your shirt on?
It's hot. I'm hot and it's hot. Okay?
Honey, your father's hot. He runs hot.
I run hot. I'm hot.
He's a warm
blooded.
man.
Thank you, dear.
I look at Franny as she's getting on. I did everything.
Oh my god. Wonderful. Kinsey steps back, lights up another cigar, gives you a big like roguish grin as you kind of pull back and start like heading towards like the path leading out of the grove. As that happens, you see in the treetops like branches like bending and creaking as Umbra, the jackalope, is bouncing around above you, like over you, down this path, like watching you go and then bouncing back and then running around through trees and landing in front of you as you kind of exit out. And the further you go, the more like rain starts to break through the trees, and eventually it starts becoming more of a downpour. You get the wipers going, and soon it's hard to make out the movements of Umbra and the trees around you. And as the rain kind of gets to like a maximum where you can barely see anything around you, you kind of feel the bus is moving a little bit different, and the rain starts to let up a little bit, and the grove is gone, and you see somewhat familiar terrain. You are within the wastes. You would think probably not too far from Fenton. As you pull up, you see the fens and the marshes. It's not a heavy rain that has persisted. A storm is quickly blowing through. And those clouds pass, and then it is a relatively calm, hot, humid time here in the wastes. As you see, definitely DeCleve and Page, familiar hills and terrain that you know leads you to Fenton. I'm going to give +1 grit to everyone for excellent roleplay.
Yay.
Hooray.
Because that was wonderful. And then we're going to take our break. We're going to take a short break here. I got 9:49 on the clock, so we'll take about a 10-15 minute break, somewhere in that realm. Aiming for 12. I've said 10 the past few times, but we've gone 15. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Yeah, 10, you did predict the future. 10 said in the chat, +1 imaginary grit to everyone. And I was like, haha, yes.
You have illuminated powers?
Gotta share that shit.
All right. So we're going to take a break here. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Refresh your drinks, use the restroom. Think about how different the year 427 is from 222, because you guys are in 427 now. See you guys in a little bit. And we're back. Hello and welcome back. Here for episode 5 of Manifest Actual Play. If you are just now joining us, let me give you a recap of what has happened thus far. Last episode, the Kumilican family died horrifically defending Fenton from a cult known as the Cut. They died and then they awoke in a mysterious grove, fully healed, fully intact, as if nothing had happened to them, save for the fact that the 4 of them have strange new markings. Max on the back of their neck, Franny right over her heart, Paige right on her left temple, which I guess my camera's mirrored, so I should touch here. And Cleve right on his back between his shoulder blades. The 4 of them met the keeper of this grove, one Kinsey McCharlotte, who apparently, when he arrived in this grove some, by his count, 20 years ago, the Kumilican family was already here, laying in the grove, asleep, and totally stable, unaging, without the need for food or water. He thought that when they would awake, they would be able to tell him why he was summoned to the grove, only to find out that they did not have the answers he was looking for, and in fact, he knew more about what was going on than them. Over his 20 years in the grove, Kinsey has exited the grove at various times and places throughout the history of Manifest, and throughout all of those little short trips in and out of this grove that seems to exist within a storm, he kept hearing the names of the Cut, this cult that apparently has been pervasive throughout Manifest history for hundreds of years. And in the year 220 to 224, they were exceptionally active, led by 13 individuals who were uniquely powered with illuminated abilities, led by Owen Lemaire, the son of Quentin Lemaire. The Kumilican family was then had to grapple with the hard truth that they were the only exit out of the grove for them now, what led to the year 427, which was 205 years 205 years after their deaths in the year 222. They don't know exactly how they've been brought to the grove, how they are still alive, but what they do feel is an innate urge to stand against the Cut, to some degree, whether it be for vengeance or just because it's the right thing to do, or because they don't have any other direction, who knows. But all of them received a unique advancement trigger for their characters that triggers when they personally take certain actions against what are known as the tainted individuals. They talked with Kinsey McCharlotte. He explained what little he knew, giving them the names of the 13 leaders of the Cut, and also saying that he has a bit of an intuition about the intentions behind this mysterious grove he has been living in for 20 years. And he knows in his bones that he will see the Kumilican family again. Until then, they have set out on their own in the year 427 to search for the trail of the Cut. And right now, their only real lead is that there is an individual named Roland who traveled with Kinsey and is one of the leaders of a nomad pack called the Riveteers, who operates in the Western Badlands. They exited the grove, finding themselves not too far from where they met their fate 200 years ago. They are in the wastes on the path to Fenton. And that's where we pick up. You guys, the storm clears. You see the clouds kind of moving swiftly away. As the storm that, by your perception, contains a grove with a strange man named Kinsey and his jackalope named Umbra, just kind of goes that way, dropping you off here in the wastes.
And to clarify, Pop is sitting like up front, shirt off.
Shirt completely off. It's hot. He's hot. He runs hot.
I run hot.
Okay. So, do we want to drive by Fenton and see? I don't know. Maybe there'll be some clues about what went down.
It can't hurt. I mean, the worst we'll find is nothing, right?
Sure. Plus, you got a claim there.
Oh, that's right. I gotta see if my spring is still in action.
Franny, would you mind? I know it was your town.
I mean, maybe people are still there. They were supposed to come back, maybe. So why not? I guess.
All right.
I mean, like, obviously not the people that we knew, but, you know, people, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So just, go slow through the foothills. You just go, be careful. The road might be different. It's all.
Oh, sure. You know I'm careful. Drifting.
Yeah, you go on your way. It's a very short journey to Fenton. Just gonna double check a thing. Yeah. And as you get there, the terrain definitely looks familiar but different. It's kind of weird, right? Like, you can see places where, like, there were floodplains that changed the terrain, and like erosion has taken some areas. A place where there was a thicket of like large vegetation has sunken into the ground, like stuff like that, right? You've seen these kinds of changes in the wastes on a micro scale during your time alive there, traveling around. Like, it's not uncommon because the waste is like so prevalent for like hot storms, and definitely during fire nights, like the massive hurricanes that hit there, and just like the general fact that like it's mostly like swamp and wetlands and like marshes and fens. Like, it's not uncommon for the landscape to change over time, but like it's kind of weird seeing it now because you haven't seen it at this scale. So, like, it's somewhat recognizable, but also a little bit different. However, you know the way, and you make your way to Fenton. And as you wrap around, like, the tall, like, weeping vegetation, turning, you see the two hills that are on the north and south side of Fenton. One where the church is, and one where the spring is. There's no town. The church isn't there. And as you kind of roll in, you can see it doesn't, you have to go up to get a closer look, but there's vegetation, like you see petrified tree, like jagged stumps at the top of the hill where the spring used to be.
I want to take out the it had a name. The radiological sensor.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of give it a quick wave around.
Sure. So like you park the bus kind of maybe by habit, like where the stables is, like at where the stables used to be, at like the bottom of the hill, where the spring was. Mm-hmm. And you go up the hill and you mark the sensor. What about the rest of you? As like the kind of bus comes to a stop and Paige like gathers her things to have a look around.
Cleve, I think his first thought is he's going to walk over to the spring and see if, it's been 200 years, but maybe the sensors will still pick up his claim stakes.
Sure.
Um,
So you're coming
and-
with Paige.
but I think on the way, and I don't know if this makes sense. Either the thought strikes him, or he actually crosses in front of where the Leezy blacksmith shop
Ooh.
should be.
It's not on the way. It's on that's down the road and up a little bit, like kind of around the hill that had the church on it.
So he starts off in that direction, and then he has the thought about the blacksmith shop, and I don't know. There could be something left of the foundry, maybe, and so he says, "Just 1 second," and he runs over to where the blacksmith is.
Sure. Max and Franny. Cleve is heading to
y-
where the blacksmith was. Paige is going up to the spring.
Yeah, I assume I can like reach into the stuff on my bike, like from inside the bus. Just
Yep.
like open up the window, reach out. Yeah, I grab the 6-pack and the bag of chips that Franny got me for Fire Night.
Still good.
I like set the 6-pack down on the floor between us, and like offer her one.
I take one. I like slam. Mom ain't here, so I just like slam the lid down on like the side of a little kid's teaching table, and just like uh and do a drink. I
Yeah.
think.
You want some chips?
No. Yeah. Okay. Give me some.
Listen, there's one thing I know about the Kumilican kids, we fucking love chips.
Okay. Well, yeah. Obviously, because they're great.
So
Yeah.
we'll start.
We climb up maybe on the top of the bus and sit on the roof watching our parents do all kinds of crazy shit.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So Paige, you ascend the hill up to where the spring is. You notice something kind of immediately, which is all of the vegetation as you get about halfway up the hill starts like dying out, and then like it seems like whatever vegetation would be growing around here, like it is like the ground around here is unable to sustain life, as like everything is kind of dry and it's just like mud and dirt as you get up there. And then like there's been this like it looks like maybe either a hurricane or there were trees here at some point. Either a hurricane brought this debris or trees are here, but like there's like jagged like broken bits of like petrified timber almost, like waste trees, like completely petrified and dried out, stabbed into the ground, piling up around where the spring used to be. And you turn on your sensor, you wave it around, you get no readings.
Gotcha. So obviously a lot of that stuff makes sense as like if the spring ran dry, a lot of those changes would happen. So like that makes sense to her. Is there anything else that she would notice around that's like different from usual 200 years of progression?
Like around town or just up here?
Up here, and then sort of like spreading out, just sort of giving a cursory
Sure.
look at like anything that seems unusual.
Yeah.
For
It does strike you a little bit odd, just as someone who's like from the waste. Like, while there's not a lot of potable water in the waste, the water does tend to give like growth to plant life. So it's weird to have this kind of like barren patch. Like, it doesn't grow a lot of like good eating or like, food or produce that like humans can eat or anything like that. Mostly it's just like thick like vegetation and some like flowers and stuff like that. But like, ultimately, like to have like this dead of a patch of the wastes, like feels like a little bit uncommon. Not as uncommon as the spring that was pure water, but like still like a little bit at odd. You would think that over 200 years the well would have run out, but then like the natural like ecosystem of the waste would have like caused overgrowth here, and instead there's no growth.
Yeah,
and
it's
also
like,
the trees that landed here look like they're dry and decayed, like as if it's like there's been a removal of life around here.
Gotcha. Like this is not only is like was the life removed from this place, it's like a null zone almost.
Mhm.
Like there is negative life here.
Yeah.
Like whatever they did not only extracted the anchor, it extracted almost like a fundamental part of like manifest of like its ecology that like causes, you know, life that without it nothing could sustain.
Yeah, actually, go ahead and roll. We'll do tech for this one.
Tech.
Yep.
Not a lore.
Not a
That's
lore.
fine.
You sure?
That's cool. I've got a little tech. Come on, guys. They wanted to roll lore, Tommy.
I didn't
They
even
rolled-
give you negatives.
I know. They rolled 15, 15, 14, 13. I could have spent 2 grit and had 4 successes and be rolling 2 more dice.
That's crazy.
That's no good. And then a 12. I have rolled a small straight. Unfortunately, none of them are successes.
Cool. Yeah, that's about all you get. You like mess with the dials on the sensor. You don't know how this thing works like intricately. You just know like generally like how to like switch the settings and stuff. But like you're not able to glean any additional information about like the nature of this, what you've identified as like a negative zone of like life in an area that is usually pretty fucking thick with life that will tend to try and kill you, but still still like really thick, like pervasive plant life.
Yeah, bummer.
Cleve, you move through the town of Fenton. By habit, you walk along the paths that used to be a road, even though there's no buildings between you and where your friend's shop was. You go back down the path where there should be this sort of thing that was your friend's home and also the home of your daughter for a while, as she was recovering from her accident. And there's nothing there. It's overgrown, muddy wastes. Do you like dig around at all or anything?
I think so, just to see if there's anything like sitting in the dirt. If it, he might take the machinery cube that he has and kind of form it into a a shovel just to see if he hits anything.
You have a survival kit, right? Yeah, you don't have to use your machinery cube. Your survival kit can be configured into like basic survival tools. So yeah, you can easily like take your survival kit and like pull out a spade that like folds out and like kind of dig around a little bit. Yeah, go ahead and let's roll either observe at a -5 or survival at a -3.
Let's do survival.
Oh, don't forget the bonuses from your survival kit.
I will not. Oh yeah, that's a good friendship die. All right, so you said survival -3, right?
Mhm.
It's a standard, which is a +1, right?
Yes.
Great. Ooh, okay. I've got 2 hits.
Okay.
Although, if I get 3, that crashes the threshold, right?
I mean, 2 is you succeed like standard.
3 is better than 2.
Yeah, 3 is you succeed like with extra bonuses.
I'm gonna go ahead and twist the knife.
Okay.
I haven't spent any grit this session, so I feel like I can.
Yeah. My headphones gave me the alert that they were low on battery. Okay. You twist the knife. Okay, so you get 3 successes. So you dig around a little bit. kind of like get in. It's just like while Paige is like scanning, Paige is already on her way down the hill now to kind of like look around other parts of the town. Paige, as you're coming down, you see your kids sitting on top of the bus, drinking beer and eating chips. And Cleve, you're kind of like digging around a little bit, just kind of like trying to find like softer patches. And as you kind of get deep under the roots, you kind of tear up some roots here. You do manage to hit just a little bit of something. And as you kind of like extract it, what you find is just like a support, like part of a support beam that is like basically driftwood. It is like so waterlogged and muddy. It has like a bunch of insects and like wood devouring like creatures like inside it that like kind of writhe around as you pull it out. Like this kind of nest has been made inside this thing. But like it's not too hard of a leap to think like this was part of the building that was here once upon a time.
Sure.
It's like super soft to the touch. Like you break it open with the shovel.
I think Cleve just kind of stands there for a couple minutes looking at it, and he probably starts crying a little bit. And then he wipes the tears off his face and takes it back to the bus.
Paige, you're continuing to look around?
Sort of on the way back, or well, it looks like everyone's content. Yeah, taking sort of a cursory look around on the way back to the bus. If there's something that seems worth exploring, she'll take a look. But otherwise, doesn't necessarily want to belabor the point.
Sure. Cleve, with 3 successes on survival, a switch has flipped in your brain, and you're no longer walking down where there used to be roads because the town is gone. And so you just start walking through where buildings used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And as you do, there's just a little glint that catches your eye to the north on what would have been the pathway up to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look over, you see a little bit of motion. There's a squonk messing around, like kind of like digging a little burrow out. Around where Franny's house used to be.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. What's he digging at?
So you like wipe the tears, you see that, you kind of see that, and you like see this small little stout creature with like short little arms and like lumpy, like kind of like grotesquely oily skin, but this like cute little snout face and big black beady eyes.
The cutest thing you've ever seen.
It's got like a little kind of like tail that just kind of like hangs down below its butt as it stands on 2 legs, and it's kind of like just digging around and like eating at like little bits of like stuff that it can find, like little bugs that it can find in the like mud as it's like digging around. And as you kind of like approach, it like looks at you and goes and then turns into a puddle of water and seeps into the ground.
Oh, all right there, fella.
Turns into a puddle, seeps into the ground, and you see it's kind of like digging out this little hollow, and there's like a little glint of like tarnished metal there.
Huh.
And as you, well, I guess what do you do?
What's that?
Do you just walk away?
Reach for it. Well, this was cool and all, but I'm gonna get going.
I seen the squonk.
Right? I got what I came.
200 years, squonks haven't changed. You reach down and you gently like kind of like unearth this thing, and you find out it's like a folded picture frame. And as you open it up on the hinge and wipe the mud away, you see a picture of your family and a picture of Franny and Iris. Was it on your wedding day, Franny? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Iris and Franny's wedding picture there. The glass broken, the pictures faded and waterlogged, but the image is still relatively there.
Oh. Yeah. Cleve will put that in his pocket. And kind of look around to the house that used to be Franny's. And just remember like the times when he would get away from the pack and you know go off on one of his missions, and he'd come to Fenton and visit with Franelon and stay on her couch and just spend time with her. And then he'll walk. I guess, yeah, he's gonna walk back towards the bus.
And Paige, you get to the bus. Franny and Max are sitting on the bus, drinking beer, eating chips. You have like a few seconds before Cleve rejoins.
Wait, so is Paige here too?
Yeah,
or
Paige
did-
just arrived at the bus.
Find
If you
what you
want
were
to
looking
not
for,
be-
Mama?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's sort of interesting. It's like when they took out the spring, and not only did the life sort of go out of the place, it got taken from it. Like nothing's grown there since. It's been 200 years. This is the waste. It ain't hard to grow, some grass or some moss.
Mm. So basically, this place is ruined.
Oh, hon,
No, it's fine. I mean, there nobody's here.
yeah, and
Right.
hey, did I hear there's a new, it sounds like they might have started something new in a different spot, like you told them to.
Yeah, I mean, listen. They're the people that lived here, regardless, they're they were all gone. And I'd like to know that what we did actually saved them, but either way, I did what I could, and I guess that's good enough. And I might never know.
Oh, hey, there's something we could go see. Hey, you sort of founded a town a little bit. Look at it that way. Hey, Fenton, you sort of came into, but New Fenton, that's sort of yours.
Sure, Mama.
Did you find any sign of my claim?
You fucking covered in mud. Please.
Okay, I'll stay outside the bus. Fine. Okay.
Here,
It looks
Cleve,
like you're
hit
gonna
the
have to
hose.
hose down.
Yeah,
no.
Paige
Yeah.
throws the hose. The bus
No.
definitely has. She's working with a lot of children. The bus
Yeah.
has a hose.
The bus has a hose.
I set the piece of wood on the bus's steps, and I start to kind of hose myself down, and I say, "That's all I could find of the blacksmith."
All of you, I have to roll one more roll. All of you can
Fuck,
tell.
we're gonna get killed again.
I know.
God damn it.
No. I was just rolling for you guys. All of you can tell that Cleve was crying a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, the streaks in the mud.
Get that far in the dirt. Come on.
Yeah, so you guys hose down Cleve. He grabs a towel and starts just like then after he dries off, puts it over his shoulders, just still shirtless.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. This is depressing as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, hon. I don't know if the claim's worth much anymore. I'll tell you about it on the bus.
No, sure. No, I figured once they took it out of the spring, there wouldn't be much left.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, but it's not much value. I'm afraid. Let's go take a look at New Fenton. We can take a night there, and we can get our bearings, and then we can go and find this. Was it Leonard Yen? This Marshall Yen is supposed to be around here.
I think that I mean, New Fenton's supposed to be pretty far. I think, Daddy. You know what? I think if you're up for it, technically for us it's still fire night. if you wanted to go find something to make a roast out of.
That might be nice, Franela.
I mean, we got all this fruit that's absolutely going to go bad because Maxie's never ever eaten more than 2 of the pieces of fruit that they've collected ever in their lives. So
Yeah,
We
but
gotta
they
get-
weren't these fucking orange and green things. These are my jam.
how many have you actually? How many do you actually think you're going to eat of the 12 that I brought?
I've eaten 6 since we've been here.
Okay, how many are you going to have tomorrow?
Honestly, I don't know.
Probably none.
Maybe, who knows?
Okay.
We're in the future, Franny. Anything is possible.
I have to say this conversation. When you say orange and green fruit, and I, in my broken video game brain, immediately go, "Those are Wumpa fruit. Eat 94 more. Extra life."
Yeah, I mean, you kind of look around, Cleve, as Franny suggests this. It is getting late enough in the day that, like, you guys will make some headway for a little while, but it's also late enough in the day that, like, doing a hunt and setting up camp here is not necessarily a bad idea.
Sure. I mean, we've been through a lot. I think maybe just taking a breather, getting acclimated to the new future we find ourselves in, it might be clever, might be smart. Wait, is it still Fire Night? We don't even know. It's not like we traveled exactly 200 years.
Hey,
right?
it's Fire Night if you think it's Fire Night, all right?
I mean, for us, it's still Fire Night, right? We never got to celebrate.
You're right. The true meaning of Fire Night is in our hearts. That's right.
It's that
That's
you
right.
should stay inside because you will die,
Yeah.
which we have learned. But
Honestly,
is
that's what it was. Went outside.
We
We
should
did-
not have gone outside.
Okay. You know, I make one joke and it just never.
It's a good joke.
You ruin it.
we
you
were
ruin it.
yes-anding. It's like a little
But
improv thing I do
sometimes
with the
it's
kids.
okay if you just let me tell the. It doesn't matter. How long do you think it would take you, Daddy?
Oh, not too long at all. You know, I know these. Well, I knew these swamps pretty well. It probably hadn't changed much.
Put a shirt on before you fly your jetpack around the waist.
Now that's just safety, all right? That I'll agree with you.
That's a good
on.
call. Hey,
Don't want to fly too close to the sun.
Maxie, if you want to maybe cut up one or two of those fruits and you could get them going in the stove and back start making a nice sort of jam or a glaze or something.
I mean, I don't know. They don't feel like that. I got some other stuff I might do some stuff with, though.
Sure, go for it. We'll be having a nice Fire Nights roast in no time.
Sure.
Franny, can you come help me hook up my jetpack?
Yeah, Daddy, sure.
Thanks.
Mhm.
And we go to the bus to like kind of like get everything strapped together and all of that, and to say, hey, I know it's probably painful to be back here again, and I'm so sorry, but I found something for you to remember old Fenton by, and he takes out of his pocket. He takes this locket that he found.
Oh.
I rescued it from a squonk.
You rescue. You
Oh
rescued it
yeah,
from
he
the
was a ferocious one too. He was gonna fight me for it, and he didn't know that I had the old hammers here, so he pretty much pedaled right away.
Okay. Was wow. Th- thanks.
Sometimes the painful memories are hard to think about, but you can regret not having something to remember them by or with. Just having this picture, it could be a way to work through it.
Sure. Yeah. No, I get it, Daddy. it's fine. You know, I mean, before all this happened, y'all were saying that like Fenton didn't have anything for me, and now it really doesn't. So, you know, it's I guess you were all right in a way that it was you were just a little prescient, but it's nice to have this.
I hope you don't think that we thought your life was nothing, Franny. I mean, it's the life that you chose, no matter what. We'll always respect that.
I know.
And hey,
I
maybe
know.
that ticket to Markham's Landing is still valid. I don't know. Do those things have an expiration date?
I have no idea, but I still have it. So if that company's still running, I guess. But I think maybe that's not the first thing on our agenda unless there's that doctor person is alive or has books. I don't know about the anchor thingy that Mama was talking about. That I don't really know. I don't understand much of this, but I'm happy to go and you know, you guys said that I was made for adventure, and now we're gonna do it. So
Oh,
together, and that's really all that you and Mom have wanted, and so everybody gets something.
If nothing else, it's I don't know. It's nice to know that what we're doing is right. If nothing,
Sure.
all right, you're okay.
Yeah.
And she probably isn't okay. I don't think Cleve has the words to express that or understand that, and so he reaches out and pats your shoulder. And it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Don't get too big an animal, because then we're gonna have to carry it, and I don't want to do that.
No, if I get a big one, I'll just make sure it's close by.
Okay, sounds good. Cut it over here and give me a signal, and I'll help you shoot it.
All right.
Okay. Be
Yeah,
back by dark. Yeah.
I'll be back by dark.
Okay.
Cleve
Thanks.
takes off, and you hear the.
I absolutely have PTSD moment.
As you see your dad fly away on the jetpack where he died. Yeah. Here we go. Cleve, I want you to roll me.
Mm-hmm.
First, roll me a survival test.
Sure.
Roll me a survival test at a. It's gonna be post, so no minuses.
Okay. All right. Great. Ooh. Okay. Oh yeah. That's 4 successes with a high of 13.
4 successes with a high of 13.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, my dice. I put them up here.
You rolling for the roast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotta
It's an
have the roast.
Opposed roll by the roast.
The roast doesn't want to be a roast.
It's not a roast yet.
I have a 7.
Oh, damn. Well, that's one success because I rolled 2 6s and a 4 were my other rolls.
Okay. So you putz around a little bit and then you kind of get into the thicker vegetation where there's like standing water and stuff like that, like kind of more swampy areas outside of Fenton, and you know, settle down and start wading through the shallows like that. You know, at this point you're able to like maneuver, like there's areas where if you walk it will go like all the way up, but like there's plenty of areas where it's shallow enough where like you can kind of spot them looking through the water that you can keep it below your knees. And you're making your way.
Oh, this is a tracking roll.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It doesn't change, but I do have a +2 to tracking because I do have the tracker ability.
Absolutely. Okay. So it takes you a little while, but you start to notice signs of Gumbaroo.
Oh, no.
And it looks like there's a small lone Gumbaroo, not necessarily like adolescent or anything like that, but just like smallish lone Gumbaroo in the area. And you know that your family can put together a mean Gumbaroo roast.
Gumber roast.
Yes.
Gumber roast.
All right. Yeah, let's track this thing down.
Cool. Go ahead. Do you have Wilderness Stalker?
No, I do not.
Okay, then I'm gonna need a sneak roll from you.
Okay, all right there. First sneak roll. Okay. Very exciting.
As you you know the Gumbaroo is around, so you're trying to like find it without giving away your position.
There you go.
Well, I'll let you roll first.
Oh, okay, good. Now
I got 0 successes.
Oh, I love that. So this is just me sneaking. This is not me detecting tracks or anything. So this should
Correct.
be 1 success.
Okay.
It was a 2, so lucky me.
Sure. So with 1 success, you come upon the Gumbaroo and you have to make a split-second decision. Basically, you like move through the brushes at some point and you see it like sipping up some water. This large rotund creature with like oily, like tightly stretched skin over its kind of bloated belly. I can probably get a picture of a Gumbaroo up here in a second. But you see this creature and you realize it's going to see you in a second. So you have some choices. You can let it see you and move on from there, or you can try and bushwhack it right now. But you also know that Gumbaroos specifically are difficult to defeat with ranged attacks.
Right.
It doesn't mean that it won't work. I'm just saying it's harder. But you could try and bushwhack it with a ranged attack if you like. Unfortunately, because you only got 1 success, you're not close enough to use your hammers as melee weapons. Unless you were to like charge it, but then it's not a bushwhack.
So I know that they're hard to defeat with ranged weapons. Does it make the I forget about Gumbaroo. Does it make the weapon stick? Will I lose my weapon if I throw it at it, or
it's been a minute since it's been a minute since you've crossed paths with it. You do know that it will, like, in theory, still deal damage. It's just it will deal less damage.
Right.
You don't remember all the other intricacies of Gumbaroo because normally you're flying well and over them. So like you're not like typically Gumbaroo don't like Gumbaroo are very much like don't start shit won't be like don't start none won't be none. So like you typically don't have to like engage in a fight with a Gumbaroo. Like the last time you specifically were the one who went and got a Gumbar roast, you were much younger, so you don't quite remember. And you had like a whole team with you, like you had a hunting party that went out for Gumbar roast.
You just keep saying it.
The
The pack wanted gumber roast.
pack wanted gumber roast.
And I said
my-
we have gumber roast at home, but they weren't having it.
All right, here for all the viewers is a picture of a gumbaroo. Thick, oily, stretched plating, and a very rotund features.
That'll make a roast.
Yeah, a very, very tough creature and extremely dangerous if angered.
That's a fine looking gumbaroo. Look, I say, and this is probably the wrong thing to do, but damage is damage. So I'm gonna chuck my hammer at it.
Cool. You can go for it. So it's a
Yeah.
focused action to bushwhack. So you choose one of your hammers and then you chuck that hammer at it. It doesn't get a defense test.
Great, and I also have opportunist, so I can raise my skill by 2, and my accuracy is also raised by 1.
Ooh.
God, I just got this chill. And remembered when Lou went off, when Fabian went off on his own in Fantasy High. I just got this weird chill that like this gumbaroo is gonna give us some trouble. If it would happen to absolutely anybody.
Oh, excellent, excellent. This is excellent. Okay. Accuracy by 1, so that would be. Yeah, I think it's still doing that. So I've got 4 successes.
Okay.
And can I'd like to twist the knife 2 times.
Do you have enough accuracy to accommodate that?
Because when they're thrown, my accuracy is it's actually 3. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong. I was looking at melee and not. So that's incorrect. No. Just
You're gonna punch it instead to count that 4th?
I'm not gonna do that because I've got 4 successes and that's my limit right here.
Right. Punch it lets you raise your limit up 1 more.
Yeah, but then I would also.
Oh, you have to punch it and twist the knife. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
Right. So yeah, no, I've already got my accuracy raised by 1, so that is 4 hits.
Okay. How much damage?
For 12 damage, and 4 of that is armor piercing, and I did use my serrated one, so I get an additional 2 damage to his armor.
Okay.
This is gonna be fine, right? We're not worried.
You do hit it.
Meanwhile, me and Addie remember what the mechanics of a gumber are.
I don't remember it all, so I'm gonna be wonderfully surprised.
Oh, did you just accuse me of not remembering?
I figured it was 50-50. You're a punch boy. You don't interact with them.
Yeah, and plus we lived it the first time.
Or I'm a punch boy and I just lick my lips. I read that description and went, so what?
Give me a second. Okay.
Oh man.
So 12 damage, 4 of which is armor piercing.
Mm-hmm. And 2 extra to the armor.
Okay. So you get ready, you pull out your hammer, and you chuck it at this thing. You clock it in the head, like cracking like part of its like kind of like faceplate there. It's like and like turns and sees you, and then just like and like giant splashes of water go up as this thing like gains more momentum charging at you. And I'm gonna go ahead and have everyone roll initiative.
Yay! Oh god. Oh, there was a signal I was supposed to send up for Franola. Probably should have done that already.
I'm terrified that this has gone to initiative.
It's a gumbaroo.
Are you surprised though?
Yo, if you guys get this, it's gonna be like the best roast. Okay.
Damn. That was bad. That was a bad roll.
Plus
Thank
one
you
grit
for
to
the
cleave.
graphic,
Yeah,
Lua.
plus
Yeah.
one grit to cleave from Boo saying, I feel like I'm gonna need this. Okay. Okay. Did anyone get better than a 12? No, I'm kidding. Did anyone get better
The
than...
fucking nomad gumbaroo.
Did,
He's got a
did,
helicopter and a laser gun.
did anyone get better than a 4?
I
Yeah.
got a 4.
Yeah,
I got
did.
a 6.
My awareness is surely better than a gumbaroo.
I got an 8.
I got a
Show
5.
off.
Paige,
I have a nomad, and I don't have nomad initiative.
Paige has 5. Franny, what was yours?
6.
And Cleve got a 4.
Sure did.
Okay. So, Max, Franny, Paige, and Cleve all go before the Gumbaroo. Cleve, your awareness is...
It's 5.
What's your finesse?
Come on, no way. It's 8, so I do win.
You still win. You still win. Okay. So, you all go first. However, Max, Franny, and Paige, you are unaware that you're in initiative.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you spend initiative, but what are the three of you doing right now? I guess setting up like a camp, because like Cleve has decided to like you guys have kind of collectively decided to send Cleve to go hunt a thing and then set up camp around town.
I mean, I'm on the top of the bus still, looking out for Cleve, because he's he took off on that jetpack, and I'm not triggered by it.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. Plus, I'm terrible at cooking. I'm not helping with that.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess Max and or Paige are working on making like different things with...
Yeah, I will spend a quick action not being self-aware enough to know why I don't use any of the orange and green fruit that Ma suggested when I make dinner.
just out of spite. So yeah,
I don't know. They just don't feel right. I don't know why.
Max and Paige, yeah, what are the two up to? So Franny's standing watch on the bus. Max and Paige, like maybe you already have the camp set up at this point. It took Cleve a while, so you have a camp set up kind of in the center of what used to be Fenton. And Max is like working on chopping up some vegetables and getting stuff
Yeah,
ready.
I'm dicing something.
What about you, Paige?
Yeah, Paige is making sides. She's got a bunch of food on the bus. Is the food on the bus 20 years old food?
So there's the perishable stuff is gone. The only thing that seemed to have like weirdly not expired is the gift that Franny gave Max.
Which was
Bag of
Remind me
chips and a 6-pack.
Bag of chips and a 6-pack.
But also a lot of stuff from the
A lot of stuff from Byron's was non-perishable.
yeah.
I think we used the whole can of beans and
The pears
butter
and the
we got from.
I got a bunch of stuff from the Grove.
Yeah, and I think if Paige went in the bus and saw that like the food supply was low, she would have like packed up a bunch of stuff from the Grove.
Sure.
So, like, yeah, all sorts of like vegetables and you know other stuff, vegetables and fruits. The whole kit.
So
Both groups.
Cleve,
Mm-hmm.
you go first.
Perfect. Do you remember from the 90s there are those sky dancers? Like you pulled the little ripcord and the little fairy thing twirled into the air? Cleve has a pull cord on his jetpack strap, and he yanks that, and one of those basically flips out. It's not a doll, but it is one of those like twirly flying things, and that pops out from his jetpack and lights up. And acts as like a flare for his location for Franny. And then I don't know if he can do both of those things, but I'd like for him to close the distance and give this thing another whack.
Sure. Yeah, so what you did notice when you threw your hammer against it, it hit the plate, but also like the like kind of like plating and hide below the plating of this thing is very rubbery. And so what happens is it's not able to like fully like hit. It kind of like almost bounces off as it like kind of like glances like at an angle where like there was like enough resistance from the like faceplate of this thing that it actually shoved it back. So instead of it like kind of hitting and glancing, it like hit and like bounced kind of like off, like towards you off to the side as you recall it back.
Don't like that. Yeah.
So then you fly forward and you're going to do melee strikes on this thing as it's charging at you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. What was the signal again? Was it a flare, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, Franny, you see the flare just a little bit into the thicket of like the swampland west of town.
Sure. Is it? Has the action gone to me then?
No, it's
just-
still
I just
it's still
see it?
Cleve's turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Cleve.
Yeah, let's whack it. This is a melee attack, is that right?
That is correct.
It's beautiful. Lovely. Let's do these two, actually.
All right, my highest is a 10.
That's my target. Yeah, and I don't have a reroll, so that is not a successful hit.
Okay. So yeah, you rush at this thing. It kind of like gets you, and like the water, like as it kind of like skids and like turns its height against you, the water like splashes up, and so you have to like swerve around. And you just try to get a swing on it, but you're unable to as you kind of like land on the other side of this thing with your other hammer.
Ah, you little bugger. And can I hit him again?
Yep. You have it was a quick action to attack with 1. This time I only have a 5.
I rolled a 16, a 17, and a 20, so that's a grave misfire that I'm going to immediately downgrade to a regular misfire with scrape by.
I don't know how you do it.
It's nobody else has this problem. I don't like it.
Honestly, it's
You're a
impressive.
different character. It's a different combination of dice.
Seth, I'm going to tell you something, and you can do whatever you want with this information. I would not be mad if you lied.
No. No. Ignore
Alright.
Addie. No.
I have heard Addie and understand what she is saying.
No. Don't. I'll fucking put digital dice on the screen. There's a way to do that. I just haven't done it because I figured I could trust y'all.
Honestly, if you think of it as a skill rather than a deficiency, Seth is incredible.
He's
Yeah,
rolling
I am
so
very
many
true, very
20s.
Best at rolling poorly.
Very true.
Okay. What if Seth is allowed to just invert all of his numbers?
No. Roll with your left hand, Seth, or something. I don't know what to do. Keep trying weird fucking house
Yeah,
remedies.
like put them all in your mouth and spit them into the tray.
Honestly, okay, Tommy, we'll make you this deal right here and now. 20s are Seth's target.
The more-
Seth's target. 17, 18, and 19 are misfires.
The more you guys push and derail this combat, the worse this misfire is going to be.
Okay, cool. So what happens, Tommy?
Your jetpack runs out of fuel.
Great. I have 2 premium fuel cubes, but my jetpack runs out of fuel.
Yeah. So you land and swing again, and as you do, you try to like push the jetpack, like, you know, accelerate on the jetpack to like get the like angle you want, and it's just like, and you realize you're out of fuel.
I think there's a comical 1930s car backfire.
It's like, and
God
like that doesn't give it. And then you land in this water. It's about knee height for you, as this thing like kind of turns, and like Gumbaroo like are not small, and this is small for like a Gumbaroo.
Mhm.
So you're looking at something that is relatively like, not like crazy massive horse size, but like relatively horse size, like a little bit smaller, definitely not as long as a horse, but like as far as like where its face is and where your face is, it's like looking like right at it, but its face is lower on its giant body as it like turns to you and like kind of like gets ready to like strike. Franny, you can take your action now, because I was letting you and Max and Paige hold your action.
Right. Okay. So I have, you know, flashbacks to a heart attack. And then I grab my rifle with the enhanced sights on it to see if I can see what is happening. So I'd like to look and do that. And then as I do that, as I like bring up the like scope up to like look, I this is not how you hold a gun, by the way. I stomp real hard on the bus, and basically go like, Maxie, it's time, let's go.
Hey, what? No, hold on. These have to simmer.
Wait, we got the like sky twirly thingy. Come on.
Fucking shit. What did he find?
I don't know. I'm looking.
About how far are we?
I think Franny, there's no way you can get line of sight on this unless you were to leave the bus and go into the forest. From there, you might be able to catch a line of sight. I think you have to spend a quick action to relocate before you have a chance of being able to spot where Cleat is.
But
Just
I still do that,
there's too much
all that
vegetation.
other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then I like the side of the bus maybe has like a ladder or something, or like I've climbed up and down it so much that it don't matter. And I get down and I start like hoofing it.
Yeah.
You
Basically,
know, the 4.5 feet I can move because I'm so weak.
Basically, the flare came out deep enough into like the thicket of like vegetation that you know that you're not gonna be able to spot it from where you are. So you're able, you use a quick action to like run down to the edge of it and start like weaving through the like trees and shrubs and like vines and stuff. Mm-hmm. And you can either roll survival or observe at a -2.
Okay.
It's unopposed though.
No, I know. I just happen to be not very good at either of these things. But I will be rolling observe. Okay, get a reroll.
Deposed by the cruel mistress that is fate.
Mm-hmm.
She gets zeros.
Nothing.
Okay, you can spend another your second quick action to find where Cleve is.
Okay, I do that.
Cool. Yeah, you like it. Just you kind of run around a little bit. You hear the sounds of like splashing water somewhere, but it's bouncing around like in the trees, and there's also the splashing water that you are making as you rush in. And then finally you're able to kind of locate it, and you like break through, and you can see through like a little ways. Like you have a pretty good range angle on it, but you specifically
Right.
see that your dad is fighting a Gumbaroo.
Oh,
Well,
careful there,
great.
little fella. You almost got me. Come on.
Oh my god.
Small, by
and-
the way, of Gumbaroo, by as far as Gumbaroos go, but not. It's still an adult Gumbaroo. It's just a runt.
Right.
No, we're
Right.
still face to face for sure.
Yeah, it's like.
And,
"Rawr."
Okay, I don't have anything else to say now. This is so funny.
Maybe we just do fucking vegan fire night.
I think we should. Oh my god. That's it. That's my turn.
Okay.
I don't have anything else to do.
Cool. So Max, you can take your turn if you want, or you can let the Gumbaroo go.
Yeah, like this thicket that the flag came out of, it's like too dense to be navigable by the bus.
It's not impossible, but it is difficult.
But like, I think I could reasonably get there. Like, it's not like so far. Obviously, Franny made it, so it's not so far away that like, oh, I should just wait for the car to go, right?
Yeah, basically.
Fuck it. I turn on Hulk and I run after Pop.
Okay, because I was like, basically, it's tight and thick vegetation, so the hover helps you a little bit, but as far as like narrowness of path, like that's the part that makes it a little difficult. So you'd be working with negatives, and potentially damaging the vehicle as you like drove through trees and shit.
Yeah, no, this is fine. It's okay Hulk. It's probably good enough for this fucking Gumbaroo. Yeah, I mean it's a short Hulk, but it's a good Hulk.
Sure.
Yeah, and then I run that way.
Yeah, you're able to follow Franny. You get about to where Franny is. You can see Cleve fighting a Gumbaroo in the distance.
Ah! The fuck?
You look and you see your kids.
I mean, come on. Isn't really Fire Night without a nice gumber roast?
Probably.
Well, I don't want to find out. Okay, all right, okay.
Paige, your kids have run into the thicket after.
As I run off, Ma, that's gotta simmer.
Yeah, I know, I gotcha.
Paige stays in the bus. Okay.
Well, no, I just haven't had my turn yet.
It is your turn.
Great.
Or
Okay.
you can let the Gumbaroo go.
No, I'm good. Paige is gonna quickly set everything to simmer. She's got a couple burners where she can like set it to like turn down or up after a certain time, so she can cook while she drives. So she sets the things to be just right for dinner. She's like, okay, great. And then she takes a few big steps, jumps towards the back exit door, slaps a button above it, and the door opens up, and a motorcycle revs to life and like is deployed out of the back of the bus that she lands on, hands right on the grips, then just takes off towards the Gumbaroo.
Fucking
It's
love
my
it.
baby.
Go ahead and roll a fuel test for the motorcycle. And then we'll just make it a. What's your motorcycle look like? This is our first time really seeing it. We've heard about Max's motorcycle, and we've heard about your bus.
Yeah. The motorcycle is it's sort of okay. I was about to say something totally incorrect. No, I'll tell you what it's like. It's a lowrider. It's a chopper. It's a chopper, but like the seat is extremely plush and a little bit shag. And like just sort of like fits. There's like a little like support cushion like down at the lower back that sort of like bumps off out of it. And other than that, yeah, it's a chopper, and it's Paige's love has gone into the bus. This is like more of a utility vehicle, but Paige being Paige and Paige being a nomad, you know, it's definitely seen some care.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll a drive test at a -5 to traverse this tough ass terrain.
Cool.
Wait, I said drive test, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said -5?
Yes.
Cool.
So my brain edited it like immediately to think that I said observe, and I was like, that's not right.
If anything, it should be sail. Am I right?
I mean, honestly.
That's 2 successes on drive.
Okay, yeah. With that, you like Cleve is like, you know, having like banter with the kids, and then you just kicking up mud as you do. You drive into these shallows, kicking up mud. The water is like threatening to get into the exhaust of your motorcycle, but you said it's a lowrider, and it's a lowrider that was designed to traverse like decent parts of the wastes if needed. So it has the exhausts are like pointed up at an angle, so that they're way less likely,
really tall,
way less likely to suck up the water. So
I
you're
both love and hate this.
So these
Beautiful.
these shallows are not so bad that like your motorcycle's in danger of becoming like waterlogged or anything. As you tear through, kicking up mud and water, you can, if you want, get to like Cleve's side.
Yeah. Well,
you don't have to. I'm just letting you know what your like range distance is. It's going to be a quick action for you to pull it off, though, just because of how many zigzags you have to do.
Yeah, I just want to, I just want to, I'm sure I can't hit this thing this turn, but I want to start increasing my speed.
Sure, it's a quick action to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to go and do that. Am I still at a -5?
Not for this, not for this.
Okay.
That the -5 is specifically based on the terrain you're in. This is just you gunning it.
Shifting dramatically.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, this is and I am at top speed.
Cool, perfect. Okay. The Gumbaroo is gonna go.
See, Paige knows the only firearm she has is her shotgun, and there's no way that shooting a shotgun at a Gumbaroo ends well for anyone.
I don't know what you're talking about. You should definitely do it.
Paige knows.
It's going to attack you, Cleve. It's gonna like throw the whole mass of its body against you.
Great. No, this is fine.
And for shits and giggles, I'm gonna bamboozle you 3 times.
That's fine, because I have precise reaction, because I can see it. I get +1 to dodge, and I get another +1 because of my my armor. So that's only a -1.
Nice. And you are at 7 grit now.
Yay, mate.
I can fucking kill my dad with a Gumbaroo on Finite.
I should have
Out there.
5 grit. No, actually, that's not right. No, maybe. No, never mind. All right.
What's your highest?
Well, right now it's 11. Let me do my reroll.
Okay. Just getting ready to spend my 2 grit to twist the knife. Or not twist the knife, play to the gallery.
The person was horrifying.
So that
one's a 19, so
these 2 dice
that's
explode. I have a 13.
I can't even hit a 13.
What's your highest?
It's 11.
11? Okay. So I have 2 13s, and now I do have to punch it to make this work. So punch it is 3 or 2?
3.
Okay.
3.
I will punch it so that I can count both of these 13s as it uses Launching Strike on you, which only has an accuracy of 1.
I deflect.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. You're a bit far, Max, so I'm going to have you deflect at a -2.
All right.
If you punch it, do I get a grit?
Yeah. You're at 9 grit now.
Great. I'm at 9. Lovely.
I got 2 14s.
Cool. Cleve, this thing like turns and sees Paige like coming at it. You pull back, you see Paige barreling down towards you, like kicking up mud and water off her motorcycle as she just guns it towards this thing. And then you look and you see it has backed up a little bit and is like one big jump thrown the whole weight of its body at you to like knock you over. And then
God, Swallop.
using like the tattoos like moving and like glowing, or not glowing, but like pulsing, like those like kind of hexes like kind of pulsing around, or triangles, right?
Nature's strongest shape.
Those triangles like flying all around Max's body. You see as the motorcycle's flying up, jumping up over through the water that is being kicked up. Max flies over the motorcycle, lands down, and catches this thing. All of these triangles like almost blacking out Max's arm as the energy shield like kind of like makes this like shape that perfectly like blocks the Gumbaroo and rolls it over both you and Max, and it slams on the water behind you, kicking up like a big wave of mud and water, like knocking you forward as it like scrambles to its feet.
Jesus, Pop, watch out for shit.
That was a nice jump there, Maxie. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for that.
Yeah, get your head in the game. There's a fucking Gumbaroo.
All right, let's go.
And that's only one initiative for you, right, Max? Yeah.
Sure is.
Okay, cool. It's going to attack Cleve again.
Sure, fair. I get that.
Came out of nowhere with a hammer, knocked off its favorite bit of armor.
I guess to it, Cleve tried to kill him on Fire Night.
I'm gonna
Well, if it was
bamboozle
Fire
it.
Night in its heart, yeah.
That's right. I'm gonna bamboozle it 3 times.
Whoa!
Ooh. For what animal do you think every night's Fire Night?
Sharoof.
For those at home, the Sharoof is made of lava. A -3.
Oh boy. How am I gonna roll a 2, a 3, and a 3? That's crazy.
Ha! I have a 3.
Ah,
Well, I also have a 9, so
Damn it! I got slow rolls. Yeah, the -3 really did me in there. I had an 11 that I couldn't make happen.
hell yeah, love that.
Yeah, so Cleve, this thing gets up and tries to launch its body weight at you again. And what you do to bamboozle it is you throw one of your hammers down, the one with the hook, and you pull up a bit of vines up, and it like hits it as you like kind of pull it over your back, and then when it breaks off and like snaps back, it like pokes the legs out from under this thing, and it falls down like chin first into the mud, unable to get enough momentum to launch at you.
Oh, watch your step there, little guy.
this feels bad now, actually. You call him little guy.
Max, it is your turn.
Does it mean a lot to you to have a Gumbaroo's Pop?
It means a lot to your mother.
That's not the question I asked. I don't appreciate the deflection. Yeah, I'm gonna punch the gum.
Okay. The Gumbaroo only has an 8.
All right. Well, the Gumbaroo takes 12 damage, no piercing, but it is electrified.
Oh.
So you spend a free action to turn on the shock gloves.
How much damage? 12? Okay. And it is electrified. Yeah. So as it like pushes itself off, like rage in its eyes, it's like getting ready to try and like bowl over and like crush you and your father. You just clock it right in the face, and like electricity like courses over its like wet, sloppy body as it like stumbles.
I'm sorry.
It's a sloppy body.
I know.
I love it so much.
I recognized that I made a face, and I looked at Addie, and she made the exact same face.
And electricity like courses over it, and it is unable to move for a second as it kind of gets like shocked and like stumbles to the side a little bit with the weight of the punch.
Yeah, and then I'll hit it again. Just, God, fucking stay down, please.
It's hunting. You're hunting.
It feels unfair.
Hunting is purposely unfair. Usually you set a trap and it just kills the thing.
Yeah, that somehow feels better. I love the version of hunting where I gotta beat the thing to death with my hands.
That's survival.
I don't hunt is the thing. All right, I drive to the next town where there's a nice restaurant.
I have
I got a
currently
13.
a 9. Okay, how many do you have over an 11 if I were to do grit stuff?
2. I actually only have 2 net hits regardless.
All right, then I will not go it strong to get rid of your electrocution to be able to count this 11.
Yeah, I got a 4, a 7, a 12, and a 13. So it's 8 more damage.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, just pop, pop, and now the thing is like kind of stunned and like a little electrified. Like easier pickings for the next to go, which is Franny.
Right. Do I feel like I'd know about Gumbrew having lived in the wastes my whole life.
You can roll survival at a plus. You were a sheriff and a settler.
Mm-hmm.
You can have
This is within a stone's throw of the town where she lives.
Yeah. You can have a +5 to this.
Okay.
Survival at a +5 to know stuff about Gumbaroo.
Well,
Surely some of the townies have died to Gumbaroo for sure.
well, the +5 actually doesn't do anything because I rolled 2 1.
Oh, hey.
You
That's-
probably talked to Bingo about it.
Respect the dead, goddammit.
Snake eyes.
So 2 successes. You know that Gumbaroo are really dangerous for towns. They usually like stay on the outskirts though, but if for whatever reason like erosion makes them have to relocate, like and they start like getting too close to the edge of town, it's kind of hard to remove them because they're extremely violent if provoked at all. It's like fighting a Gumbaroo at all like is kind of like swatting a hornet's nest. Like the moment it feels threatened, you are like on its like death list. It's like ready to fuck you up and goes from being like this kind of like thing that's off to the side to like an extremely deadly and dangerous creature. You also know that taking them out is particularly hard because their hide is so thick and rubbery that ranged weaponry actually has a really hard time puncturing it. In fact, firearm, you know that like when you guys have had to, or when other towns have had to like get Gumbaroo away from their borders, they specifically don't use guns because too many people have shot at a Gumbaroo and the ricochet has hit someone else. And
Right.
definitely at some point when you were sheriff, that's how someone in town died. 2 of them were out hunting, trying to get a Gumbaroo, and they weren't trying to get a Gumbaroo, they were trying to get something else. They saw a Gumbaroo and thought, ooh, Gumba roast. And they shot at it, and it just immediately bounced back and hit their friend in the head.
What a dark mirror to our current predicament.
It
Well-
doesn't mean, like, you know that firearm ammo can, in fact, be used to take out a Gumbaroo. It's just harder and more dangerous, and
Right.
that's about it.
Well, I am completely unequipped to deal with the situation at hand.
It is your turn.
You got a knife
I do not.
or a rock.
Someone can hit you, it'll still bounce. Okay.
Yeah, rocks
I
not gonna
guess-
kill me or Pop, probably.
Well, who knows? At this point, so I guess I will, I guess I will kind of like run over there and like try to get its attention, sort of like, hey, like just sort of like try to help.
Sure.
Help. I help.
Go ahead and roll wrangle.
All right. Well, it could be worse.
Oh, you got to make yourself bigger than it, honey. Make it big. Make yourself bigger.
It's huge. What are you talking about?
No one just has to think you are.
You are up against a 4.
Okay. Am I the aggressor?
Yes.
Okay. I also have a 4.
Okay. You help, and the next action that is taken against the Gumbaroo will be at a +1.
I did a thing. That is my turn.
Speaking of which, it's Paige's turn now.
Y'all know what's coming.
Yeah, 100%.
No, I'm ready to be surprised.
I'm gonna hit it with this dang motorcycle.
Sure, you pop up on a wheelie and try to slam this motorcycle into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like stunned a little bit from Max like giving it 2 punches, and then it sees like Franny and like turns to Franny, giving you a nice broadside to aim for. Like Franny fires like a couple shots up into the sky as she runs to the side, which like gets the attention of the thing.
Let's go hunting.
Ooh. Okay. We like that, certainly.
I have a 10. You are at a -5 still because of the terrain.
Oh, I thought I was no longer at a -5.
No, you weren't at a -5 to change your speed. You're at a -5 because this is you. Your motorcycle's not hover tech or anything, so the terrain is bad here.
Okay.
You're driving a motorcycle through a swamp. You're driving a lowrider through a swamp. It doesn't even have off-road suspension.
Yeah, no, it's just a regular motorcycle. All right, I'll spend 3 grit to go at strong.
Okay.
So you got a 10?
Yes.
I have 2 net successes. 13 and a 12.
Okay. So how much damage is that on a ram? Don't forget your motorcycle also takes damage.
That's it. Oh,
Yeah, you gotta get ramming plates.
I do gotta get ramming plates. That'll be fine. Let's see. Body plus speed is power. So the power is 7.
Okay, so that's 14 damage then, right?
14 damage.
Cool. And then whatever the body of your motorcycle is, you also take damage. Your vehicle takes damage.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. So Paige runs up, hits this thing with the motorcycle, and like manages to like hit it with the bottom of the motorcycle and then turn the motorcycle like in the mud and like drop down next to this thing as it like kind of like bowls over and falls to the side, like splashing into the ground, like very injured from the motorcycle slamming into it, but still alive. As it like lands on the ground and like gets up kind of like a little shakily and like looks and like like lets out this big angry like snort, which like clears its nostrils of all the mud. And Cleve, it's you.
Let's do this. I'm gonna whack it.
And then Cleve leaps forward at this thing.
Ha
Cleve, you are up against a 6.
All right, I can beat a 6. That's just gonna be fine. Yeah. All right. That's it's only one hit, which is fine. It gets what, 2? Really? That's crazy.
Melee weapons are, particularly light melee weapons, do not have very high power.
No,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. So I can twist the knife though.
Okay.
How much should I twist the knife?
You got
I
a
had
second
to-
attack also.
Should I just do the second attack first? No, I shouldn't spend any grit. No, you're right. All right. So that one was the hooked hammer. I'm gonna hit him with the other one too.
Cool.
I believe with the hooked one, I don't know if there's anything, but you are allowed to just move it somewhere also.
Sure.
I don't know if there's anywhere beneficial it can be placed.
Let's see how this
So
hit goes.
so you
I
hit
don't
it
think
for
I
2
will-
damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and roll your next attack. I only have a 1.
Oh.
Worst success of all on defense.
I don't wanna. Oh boy. All right. Well, it's a misfire, but it's not grave. And I'm gonna spend 2 grit to play the gallery, so I can count this 11.
Your hammer's gonna run out of fuel.
I know, right? Oh boy! Wow, this is not great. Dun, 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 dun. Oh boy. Okay, cool. You said you had a 1,
Yeah.
so that's 3 hits over a 1. And I guess I should scrape by, right? Technically.
It's
Yeah,
up
I
to
don't
you.
want to lose my hammer. I'm gonna scrape by.
How much damage
There's too
did
much
you?
at stake.
I did. That one was 6 damage.
Cool.
And this is my serrated one, so it does do 2 extra damage to its armor.
Yeah, so in almost a coordinated move, Paige up on a wheelie, slams the motorcycle into this thing, turns the motorcycle to kind of twist it on its back wheel and slam it down. This thing goes barreling over. In that moment, as it's getting up and like blowing the mud out, you leap forward, Cleve, in a way that would be more enhanced by your jetpack if you could get more air. So instead, your first swing does not have enough strength to get through this thing's toughness as you hit it with the hooked hammer and pull its head down, and then slam your other hammer into the side of its head, and it goes down dead and clean. Just a loud crack and pff, it's down. Like waves on this like swamp. You pull it up, and there you go. A slain Gumbaroo, ready to be made into just a miraculously good Fire Night roast, and probably some extra food. You're gonna be eating healthy for a while.
Jerky.
Happy Fire Night, everybody.
And the Kumilicans family stands there covered in mud in the middle of the swamp, ready to cook up this Gumbaroo to celebrate Fire Night 200 years after their death. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
You know, hunting. You hit it with a motorcycle and then beat it to death with a hammer.
Good doodle session.
NCAA approved, baby.
Boy, wild.
This is how nomads hunt. We hunt nomad style.
Hey, look, it's meat comes pre-tenderized, baby.
And it's crispy on the outside. With
It's
the
a fucking gas.
I thought he was gonna hunt
Oh.
like an axe handle hound or something.
The other thing you would have known, Franny, that wouldn't come up in this session is that Gumbaroo are also extremely susceptible to fire.
You don't want to set them on fire.
They secrete an extremely flammable fluid. That if you hit them with an attack that deals fire damage, they are extremely likely to explode and damage everyone around them. So if you guys had hit it with any fire at all, there'd be no roast. It would have been
Well,
but-
actually, there'd be a lot of roasts.
We just
be-
have to pick it up.
would
It'd be chum.
edible.
It'd be fucking
would
chum
cook
in the
itself.
water.
God.
All right.
Sounds like pulled Gumbaroo to me.
Oh.
Okay. So we're done for tonight. We are going to move into the Q&A section of the stream. This is where we look at questions that have been submitted into the supporter exclusive Discord, or any questions you might have in the chat. If you have any questions at all, drop them in the chat right now. This can be about the session, it can be about the characters, it can be about the campaign, it can be about the
Deep personal
system.
questions about our lives.
If you ask a question, we will answer it, even if it is a deep personal question about us and we say no thank you, we're not going to answer that. That is still an answer.
If you ask Tommy his social security number, he has to tell you.
I will tell you that I have one, and I'm not telling you the number. Okay, so throw your questions in the chat if you have them. We will answer them. Otherwise, we're going to jump into the ones that have been submitted to the Discord. And they come from Argitlam. Good old-fashioned Argitlam Let's Build, where Argitlam gives us characters from different fiction and media and asks us how we would build them in Manifest. We have the Summers family from X-Men. Well, so apparently some of them are from X-Men. Apparently it gets complicated. Comics, right? Okay. Christopher Summers, which is Corsair. Scott Summers, which is Cyclops. Alex Summers, which is Havoc. Nathan Christopher Charles Dayspring Ascani Summers, which is Cable. That upsets me. So Christopher Charles Dayspring Ascani Summers is a space pirate, an experienced pilot, a swordsman, a gunner, and a leader. Could be a vigilance tree thing.
Isn't
feel
Cable also like a time traveler guy?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right now this is just Christopher, not Nathan Christopher.
Oh,
is
god
Corsair.
damn it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is Corsair.
Which I have played this character before in D&D
Oh.
with people at this table.
Sure has. Greatest land pirate there ever was. Captain of the Slick Fur Smooch.
Goddamn right. Come get a kiss.
Hey,
So
didn't
is
think
it
about
sure
that.
hands brawn and vigilance, or
I'm inclined. I would give him, what is it, Gunners in there. I'd be inclined to drop Sure Hands and go Moxie, Brawn, and Vigilance, and just have like decent finesse and range.
and good guns? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you can have, because like the initiative tree feels like a sort of like leadership-esque
Yeah.
thing. Once you get to the bottom, like all of your people are better, and then you grab a couple talents in Moxie to like throw out some assists here and there.
Yeah.
And there's a talent in Vigilance that we haven't seen come up on stream that it lets you do a similar thing as motivational speaker, but when driving, it lets you roll drive as an assist for any test in a chase scene without spending initiative. It's great.
Yeah, I think so. If I'm reading this, and I sort of cursorily know X-Men, but it sounds like a leader. Yeah, like that's vigilance talents, and the like Moxie leadership talents for
Literally
Cyclops.
a talent in
Strategic leader is more of a Moxie leader. Moxie leader versus vigilance leader.
Sure.
Yeah, the thing is Scott also absolutely has to have Sure Hands for trick shot.
For his
cannot
like,
Sure eyes, full heart.
Sure eyes, full heart.
Sure eyes, full hearts.
Yeah.
Can't lose.
Scott is strategic leader of the X-Men, competent hand-to-hand fighter, pilot, outside the scope of abilities generally available in Manifest, shoots concussive blasts from his eyes.
Well, if you're what's his name from last season, you're allowed to shoot lasers, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, because Manifest's gear lets you kind of flavor it however you want, you could absolutely.
Your laser gun could be goggles.
Your laser gun could absolutely be goggles that you press a button and they shoot lasers out. Absolutely, 100%.
I love that.
Yeah, so definitely Sure Hands, because I think the trick shot thing, he's always like ricocheting those lasers off of shit.
His like secondary mutation is just incredible spatial sense.
Nice. So Sure Hands for sure. If he's a competent hand-to-hand fighter, maybe Brawn. Otherwise, he could just have good muscle and unarmed. Depending on how often he does melee combat.
I could see like Moxie, Brawn, and Sure Hands for Cyclops.
Yeah. That seems about right. If not that, then maybe subtlety, because he's pretty athletic and like
about-
Yeah, but he's
gymnastic,
not
right?
fucking sneaky.
No, it would just be to
Yeah.
grab like the I can do this all day type stuff where
Yeah.
he's like very like nimble and athletic in that way, as opposed to punchy athletic.
The thing about Scott is that he's not allowed to take any of the personality like boosting
He's just
Like-
got like, God, he's maybe got first impression, because I think Scott probably makes a pretty good first impression and
Yeah.
not after.
he just has like even James Marsden could not save Scott Summers.
He's got
Just-
first impression, and then he's got motivational speaker, and then he's got what is it? I think it's leadership that lets you give away your turn, and those are
Yeah.
the talents.
Yeah.
Alex, Havoc,
Havoc.
forever just a few courses from completing his doctorate in geology, continuously falls for obvious traps, spent time as a government agent, and like his brother, can fire concussive blasts. I don't know what talents this guy has. I think he's just a
Hardiness.
guy with a laser gun.
Havoc definitely has hardiness.
Okay, hardiness.
Listen, if the laser comes out of just anywhere on your body, that's hardiness.
I'm with you. Super with you.
It's like hardiness. Maybe,
know how if he's very smart, right?
Yeah, hardiness,
think
know how,
know-how.
and
Hardiness
maybe
again.
subtlety
maybe-
for spy
No,
shit.
no, like tenacity. The
Oh, sure, because he knows rocks.
because he knows the rock.
Oh,
He talks to
yeah.
rocks.
He talks to rocks.
He does talk to rocks.
All right, and then Nathan Christopher Charles Dayspring Ascani Summers, aka Cable. Absolutely huge, carries an entire army's arsenal of weapons, extremely powerful psychic. So illuminated for sure. Probably enlightenment if it's a very powerful.
Enlightenment, know-how, and
You don't think
probably sure hands.
you don't think hardiness for being absolutely huge?
No, because I think. I mean, I guess the cable I immediately go to is the one from the Deadpool movie, who was just always shooting his gun the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that
I
third
did
tree
not-
is just sort of up for grabs. It could be a lot of things and feel right.
Yeah.
I did not know that his full name was we had just another Albus Severus James Lily Potter Sirius Dumbledore the third Potter. Anyway,
Have a great
I'm just
summer.
upset by it.
Yeah. Same as. We also have a question from Tenetic in the chat asking, did you always plan to do the forward time jump when you set this campaign in the past? And the answer is yes. I approached the players and I said, okay, so here's my idea. It actually started as yeah, basically it started as like I was like, here's my idea. I wanna see a little bit of the past, see the cut in their prime. And I then think what I want to do is I want you all to get teleported to the future, and then we'll see what happens. And that's about where I left it. And at first they actually, like you, I think there's a point, there was a question that came up that was like, at first the original like concepts of the characters weren't necessarily a family, but the more and more like we thought about it, the more and more it seemed like right for them to be a family that was all like kind of like picked up out of their time and plopped into another time together. But yeah, the initial idea, the initial concept for season 3, I remember going up to at least Addie, if not a couple of the other people individually, to be like, is this a dumb idea? I have an idea. It's time travel. Is that dumb? I want to do a time travel. I want to show the cut. I want to, if any of you, Dan pointed this out later, if any of you are fans of season 8 of the Essential NPCs podcast, spoilers for anyone who hasn't listened to season 8 of the Essential NPCs podcast, it's the Star Wars season, and starts in the Clone Wars, and it's this big fight around a planet, and there's some Jedi who are gonna like help out, and they have this like privateer captain who's helping
We're
out.
gonna win the Clone Wars.
And then midway through, I think the first episode,
Episode 1, baby. I just listened to it a little while ago.
Order 66 happens, and then there's a time jump between episode 1 and episode 2, where we pick back up with the characters. We saw them in their prime in the Clone Wars, kicking ass, taking names, gonna win the Clone Wars. Then Order 66 happens. It's horrible. Like one of their NPCs like dies, and then we end it, and then we pick up like 3 years later, and they're like hiding from the Empire, and one of them is like, they're all dealing with the trauma of what happened to them.
Similar spoilers for I don't know which one. Very similar to Kenobi. Just want to say we got there first.
And so they're dealing with the trauma of everything that's like that happened to them, and then they get swept up in a different adventure that isn't the Clone Wars. But like basically we tricked everyone into thinking it was going to be a Clone Wars season, and they were all excited for like really pulpy, like, oh, this is going to be like pulpy Clone Warsy type thing. And then I was like, execute.
No, this one's going to be sad.
It's
possibly the best like content I've ever put out into the universe as far as like the podcasts and stuff so far.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted. For
Tenetic says that they also thought of the Essential NPC season 8. Sometimes, I do the same thing.
As someone who both has not listened to that season and does not really know Star Wars, this conversation is beautifully incomprehensible.
Yeah. So that was always the plan. It was similar to how I approached them for season 8, where I said it's gonna be post Order 66, but I want the first episode to be during the Clone Wars. They knew that they were gonna fail in that season, and they knew that they were going to get yeeted into the future in this season.
Somebody asked maybe like a couple weeks ago, like, what were the thoughts you had about your characters and character creation, and I couldn't answer this part of it then, but one of the original ideas for Max was their last name was going to be like Kowalski or O'Malley or something, one of the huge crime families on Manifest, and have been like from a small time criminal family, and then we get yeeted 200 years in the future, and then like, oh fuck, my family is the family.
Yeah. So that is that's we always knew, when we kept our lips shut for 4 episodes until I got to brutally murder all of them in front of you, and it was very fun.
I was still shocked. It was still rough. It was still
And
extremely
we just don't know why Tommy did it so brutally and meanly. There's no way to tell. It's impossible to discern.
Okay.
No possible way. Not like there is any sort
time.
of moon that was shot.
Nobody shot at the moon. That's dumb. You wouldn't hit it. It's too far away.
You can blink there though.
Okay.
Good blink.
I don't see any other questions in the chat. So I think we're gonna call it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for playing. I didn't kill you this time, and you have a nice gumber roast. We'll pick up next episode with the roast spinning over the fire in the middle of the night. Nice little fire night roast.
Not over the fire.
It's fine if you get the skin off and excrete the fluids. It's fine.
Trying to kill us off screen in between episodes.
Preparing a gumbaroo to be cooked is very hard, but Cleve knows how to do it.
That's right. I've done it before.
All right. Cool. Good night, everybody. Have a good night. We're going to see you next week. That's going to be June 22nd. We'll see all of you guys. Love you all.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye.